Hello and welcome back to Nug Talk.
We got a special group of people here today. We got Children of the Crops. We got Brandon and Cory. Brandon, did I say that properly?
Brandon.
Yeah. And Cory, owners here of Children of the Crops, based out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. They've been cultivating for 16 years, focusing on hash growing and hash making for 8 years. And they also do quality over quantity. So welcome. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Hey.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, welcome here at Nug Talk. So we talk about the Nug, the journey, hear your guys' story. Let's start off with you, Cory. When were you first introduced to the Nug? When did you first start smoking?
So it was actually both of us at the same time. We were probably 13, 14 years old. And, first time we smoked, it was some swag.
Okay. So you guys both know each other from all the way back in the day?
Back in the day.
Okay. Cool. And did you guys first build that relationship over the cannabis or the Nug, or you guys were just boys and you're like, hey, let's try this out? Or
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah, we got put in the same class in 6th grade. Started kicking it right off bat from there, and it escalated into what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I guess it kind of starts with me a little bit. So I have a history of cancer back when I was 13. So when I was 13, I got diagnosed with a spinal cord tumor.
Okay. And you're here today.
Thank you.
Champ.
Yeah, thank you. And so pretty much cannabis helped a lot of the inflammation and a lot of the pain in my spinal cord better than some of the pharmaceutical pills would. And what was wild is when I was like 13, before I even knew I had that, I wasn't ever peer pressured into smoking. It wasn't ever like around me a lot, but when I would smell it, it would intrigue me. Like I wanted it. Like I was like, what is that?
Yeah,
I want that in my body. Come to find out, I was sick and my body probably needed it,
Yeah, and it knew. It smelled it and it's like, oh, that's
right.
what I need. That's my medicine right there.
Right. Yeah. And so ever since then, and I even had doctors at the Texas Medical Center out in Houston, cannabis therapy would be good for me, and so pretty much there out 13, 14, I started smoking.
And you guys, you guys are from Texas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From Texas.
That's crazy, man. It's like your body was like, you're like out in the desert, you need water. It was like, we need some of that weed.
Where's the swag at?
Yeah, like there wasn't like my parents like, who got you into this and that, and no one really pushed anything on
His
me.
parents caught us multiple times at a super young age.
Yeah, so around that same sixth grade, 7th grade, they were catching you guys.
The first time we got high, man, we went back to his mom's house for dinner, and homeboy fell out of his chair.
I'm laughing, and I fall out of my chair, and I tell my mom, I'm just having an anxiety attack, trying to play it off all cool, and no, it was not all cool. I was out of it.
Tweaking.
So, but that was our first time, our first experience with some dro. So like I was saying, we started with some swag.
We thought we were getting high.
Right.
And then I had an older sister, and her boyfriend at the time hit us up and was like, hey, man, y'all come hop in the truck. He pulled up on us. He pulled out, what they used to call a tie stick. So we obviously knew somebody that was growing.
He knew somebody around.
Yeah.
So we hit the pipe a couple times with him, and he dropped us back off at his mom's, and homie
that was our first
and
experience.
started
It's real good,
Oh man, that's awesome. And so from the swag to then being able to or introduced to dro or something that's a little higher end, was that a long time, or you guys were like after a couple of weeks, couple months, or maybe a year?
Probably like a month or so. We probably
probably
we smoked it and I went home and told them like, hey, I got high.
They're like, yeah, you don't even really get high. You don't even know what that is.
Oh, his sister's boyfriend was like, hey, let me show y'all kids what's up.
So he got us high, and then after that, man, it was honestly the chase of the good. We got introduced to something that was better than the swag, and at that time we didn't know there was anything better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we started hunting and trying to find the best of the best in the city.
Okay. And that's like going into 7th, 8th grade, or is this still like you're just hitting it hard after?
That was like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay. Yeah. And what year would that be? Like
So we graduated in 2006. So that would probably be 2002, 2003. Yeah.
Oh, so the fires started coming out already.
Mm-hmm. And it was probably 02 because my sister graduated in 03, and it was before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And how was your because you said you were getting caught here. How were your parents? Like, did you ever had to have that conversation with them where you're like, hey, this is helping me out?
For
and
sure.
this
And so it was
good?
a different relationship with a lot of people in my life growing up, because not only did my parents know my situation, but like the teachers knew the situation too. And so I would get in trouble and they'd be like, hey, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, you can't do this at school. You can't have it in your car in the parking lot when the dogs are going through, because there's always stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I'd leave a pipe in my car and the dog would go through and smell it.
And paraphernalia. You're getting
Paraphernalia,
hit with
you
a
know?
fucking charge, especially in Texas where it's
Right.
backwards as fuck, in my opinion. So
Right.
don't quote me, but
That happened to me. Ninth grade, man. My mom was a teacher, and I actually had her as a teacher.
A health teacher.
And the cops and the principal came in and escorted me out of the room. And
oh my god,
I had a pipe in my pocket, and somebody snitched.
Out of his mom. His mom was teaching
Fucking
the class.
snitch.
Well, guess
Yeah,
who the
the
snitch was, man? Let him tell you.
The snitch was Brandon's girl.
At the time in high school.
Oh my god, he was gonna marry her. You know,
Oh my god, man.
how's she gonna narc on you, bro?
Narc on everybody.
It was like
On everybody,
Everybody.
even you?
No, not me.
No.
he was in the office getting searched, but he didn't have anything on him. But
She was like, "Yo, I just spilled the
Shit, I
beans."
guess it might have been me too.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
there was a handful of us. I think there was like 3 or 4 of us that ended up getting tickets that day. And,
Oh my! Oh, so it was a ticket. It was like a promise to appear or something like that.
I mean, it was a charge.
minor in possession type
minor in
deal, or
possession.
possession of something, I
Possession
forget.
possession of paraphernalia
That's what
is
it
what
is.
it was.
Yeah, so always in school. I never went through a year of school without having an altercation involving pot. Never.
Oh, man,
you know,
that's-
so all through high school, ever since 14, 13, every year, there was always a something involving pot in school, and getting kicked out or having to find somewhere that'll school me over pot, which is wild.
So even with all that going on, it sounds like there's probably a couple people in your life that kind of like understood though that you were using that as a
Definitely.
medicine.
Yeah, his parents were
throughout
definitely
that.
understanding. They never once, reached out to my parents whenever they would catch us doing, smoking on the patio or whatever. it may be.
Shout out, causing problems at your house.
They
and
they,
shit.
they did. They held it down that way. They understood, I was experiencing with him, and he was doing it for a good reason. And
We're at home, not at some random guys.
yeah, and they gave us the speech, hey man, you guys are doing this way too fucking early. Which I can respect now. We both
Yeah.
have kids, and man,
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I have a 13-year-old daughter now. I can't imagine.
How would
Yeah.
how would you react in that situation? And then with you having the medical issue too, like you don't want to treat you like an outcast or make you feel like you're doing something wrong, because at the end of the day, it's medicine.
It's medicine.
beneficial
Yeah,
to you,
I'm knowledgeable and educated on the plant enough. I understand it. I wouldn't be any type of a negative way. Like if I were to catch my daughter
It'd
smoking,
be a conversation.
it'd be a conversation,
For
and
sure.
like there's a time and a place for everything. Just watch your P's and Q's.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's kind of crazy. We, at the same time, like we're all in the industry, and like we've been having these podcasts and conversations, and every single time we have a conversation, we talk about like, where did you start? Everyone's like, always like, oh, like I was like in, I was like 6th grade, 7th
Yeah.
grade. And I'm just like, as a podcast or a business owner, I can't condone that.
Right.
Like
Right.
personally, like I think you should wait, but it is interesting to see
For
how
sure. Now
so
that I have
many of
kids,
us
I agree.
have, you know what I mean? So like, you're going to hear these stories on this platform, but at the same time, like, I just don't want anyone to think that, you know what I mean? Like
That
we're
we're-
trying to say that that's
Yeah,
like,
go
it's
spark
not,
up your kids.
no,
when you get
like,
home, like,
you know
not
what
at
I
all.
mean?
Sure.
No.
No,
But,
not at all.
It is interesting.
Now that I'm
know.
older, I can relate to exactly what you just said.
Yeah, man. It's like, you gotta be careful too,
We were started in Texas, and so we've been raided out there. We've been
Oh wait,
Damn.
chased out the city.
That's
from
a story.
Let's reel it in a little bit. So you guys started chasing for the best flavors. You guys are like in 7th and 8th grade, in and out of trouble. So now you're getting into high school. Did you ever start growing?
For sure. So,
or-
high school in 2002, 2005, Cali was popping. The packs were coming in, you know? And so that's what we were doing. Cali had some good fire, better than some of the stuff we could find in the city from growers. So we were getting packs sent in from Cali and also doing our home grows.
Okay, so you were growing at the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this guy started growing in an apartment.
So I started growing right out of high school in my first apartment. It's when I started growing, and I've never stopped since.
It took me a lot longer to get comfortable with it. My first experience with getting arrested in my mom's classroom, it kind of set me back a little bit, and I was a little bit more cautious and fearful of the consequences at that point in time.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit longer to get back on that board. I was probably in my early 20s then.
Right.
The state doesn't mess around either.
No, not at all. They'll send you up the road real quick.
Yeah, and so me and him, we thought it was all cool, and we had 2 houses next door to each other, literally next door. And so what we were doing is where the house Cory was in, we were getting the pack shipped to from Cali and all that. And the next other house was when we were doing our home grows and our hunting and all of that.
Chic boys are wild. This is a wild boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one gets it. This is what we're
So
doing.
I had a daughter, and we put a balloon out on the front little, the mailbox saying, hey, it's a girl and this and that. We were smoking outside on the back patio, and the neighbors smelled it and called the police. Like, hey, they got a baby in the house, and they're smoking some weed. And Texas is not cool about all that. As soon as they heard the baby, I was top priority.
Oh, for sure.
So they came in the house thinking that they were going to find some packs or just a whole bunch of smoke, not knowing they were running into a grow house. So they caught them off guard. They did a whole bunch of stuff that they weren't really ready to do, which luckily helped me with my case in the end. But
yeah, they didn't do the proper procedures or get a warrant.
No proper procedures, no warrant, no any of that kind of stuff.
After that, man, it was kind of eye opening for me as well. So I kind of took a step back. He took a step back.
And this is like right after high school?
No, we were early 20s.
This was 2011 that happened. So we graduated in 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 years after high school.
Okay. So like
speaks to the passion, though, you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
And I mean,
he needed it, man.
I needed it. People needed it around me. And we really wanted to stay in Texas for the people who needed it. I really didn't want to move to Colorado. I didn't want to move anywhere else. I wanted to be on the front lines, fighting that war and providing providing for the people,
100%.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. We, had to move out here just for the safety of our
Lesson
kids, because
learned.
Texas will take your kids from you.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Same thing. I'm
They
from
will.
Florida, you know what I mean? And like, you don't want to get caught up on none of that.
They don't play, and so
yeah, after that happened with him, man, we kind of laid low. We got out of the city. We moved out to Austin. Lived a real chill life for a few years, and then
we actually out in Austin, we hopped in the CBD game. We started a little CBD company called Texas Hill Country Extracts, which was THC for short, and that was cool. That was fun.
That's what really got our foot in the door. Whenever the farm bill hit, we jumped in that full force. Bought a couple kilos of CBD isolate, bought, probably 10, 15 pounds of some hemp flower, and hit markets hard every, few days.
So you guys were like you would buy and then sell or distribute to the different stores, or you had like a storefront where
no storefront. We had a lot of friends in the industry, multiple people that we know own smoke shops, but we had an online store. I was able to sit down and make a website one night. It took a few nights. But we advertised real hard on Instagram. We went to these pop-ups, we'd have business cards, and we'd have a list of, glass shops and smoke shops in the area that had our product. And we had tinctures, we had flour, we had candy, we had vape juice. We had a whole lineup. We ran that up for a few years, and then I ended up having a kid, and they were going back and forth on, is CBD legal? Is it not legal? Is it legal? Is it not legal?
in the state?
Yeah,
the federal hemp bill would
was legal.
say it's legal.
Right, but they were raiding smoke shops with our product in there. We got put on the fucking news for some marijuana-infused product.
They used our product, our brand, as the image for the story on the news in Houston as a THC product.
Defamation of character.
Yes.
Yeah, like a warning. Absolutely, bro. We were in the news parking lot getting ready to walk in to do an interview with these people.
With them, and they
somebody called me. They're like, "Hey, man, I'm at the bar right now. You guys just got put on blast." And I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about? We're sitting in the parking lot right now.
saying y'all are illegal company."
Yeah. So, and we weren't, But, after all that, man, it was really time for us to hop into the market here in Colorado. So that's why.
So that's what made the move from Texas.
Yep.
You're like, this shit is ridiculous. They're blowing this shit out of proportion.
Well, we were doing good with that business, and we're like, well, if we take the same motto, good packaging, good product, quality on the line, we both got 100%. Medical issues that we can push behind why we're using it and how it's helping us, and made the jump to here, man. You could grow in Colorado legally in your basement, So I jumped in, and that's when I really started growing. He had been growing for years before that. I was around it. I'd seen it, but I'd never worked it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd come over and help trim or something like that. But I dove in trying to get our feet wet here prior to him coming out here. Once I figured out, all the possibilities that were here, he made the move. He sold his house and brought his whole family down. And then after he got here, man, we just tried to hit the ground running as hard as we could.
And that's awesome to you guys to be able to
partnership like that.
Yeah,
it's rare.
The love and the trust to be able to be like, I'm gonna sell my shit. I'm out.
Yep.
Whoa, we got something out there. Oh, I trust you. Let's go. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna go find out if it's something that's viable for us.
Right. We had already had a couple business adventures prior to coming out here. When I first moved out here, we actually opened up an automotive shop here. And
hustlers, my dog. That's what you gotta do.
That
multifaceted.
That really put us in the position to be able to do what we're doing now with the facility.
Hell yeah.
Yep, that auto shop and the help of the community, family, and friends really got us there.
Okay, so then just to backtrack a little bit, so you came out here. Would you say it was like a couple years, or like a year, or a couple months
before him?
Before him,
it was close to 2 years total.
2 years, and then after the 2 years,
he was coming down here. He was coming down every couple months to help me wash my personal shit and
contract washes for other people. I was washing back there.
We've had our badges. Just trying to get the name out there before we pulled the trigger on the facility.
Yeah, like you were saying, Sealed Sullivan list.
Yeah,
so I was
shout out Sealed.
What up, brother? Yeah, I was working with him, and he was teaching me hash before I even moved here. I was in Texas.
Yep.
Okay.
Before so we were making hash out in Texas before we even moved here.
That's raw as hell.
Yeah.
And what a small world too, like
small world,
Yeah.
Those people in the community that are really about it seem to click. What they say, real stay and fake fade. And you kind of watch that in the hash game. Fucking heavy.
Only time will tell, and as more time goes by, you see all the people fall out, or the people that can't hang, or the people that were full of bullshit from the start, and there's only so much you can bullshit, and how many people you can bullshit, and
bro,
the lies.
It's a small town. You can't talk any kind of shit at a restaurant because someone next to you will hear you, and it goes around the town. Like you gotta
100%.
You gotta be a
and this community talks. Let's face it, bro. They talk
for sure.
So.
And then after those 2 years and you moving, is that when you started Children of the Crops, or you guys were still kind of?
So we actually started Children of the Crops, I think, before I even moved out here.
Yeah, before you moved here.
Okay, so you had formed. You already had the vision in your guys' mind that this is what we're gonna do.
I mean, it's been our goal since like 2012, right after he got in trouble in Houston. We were like, we got to fucking get down to Colorado and do it the right way.
Yeah.
We hesitated a little bit.
Of course.
I wanted to stay there and really help the Texas people, give them some good medicine, and be on the front lines, but couldn't do it.
But yeah, no, after the CBD thing and it popped off as well as it did, we got pretty confident in the fact that we could come down here and do the same thing. So I came down, like I said, I jumped into growing pretty heavy whenever I first got in to Colorado. I didn't have a whole lot of experience, so I was trying to just dial in and, take his.
I think their first grow, I drove a pallet of clones from Texas to here for him to do his first grow.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And it's wild to think that you're in a place where you would be able to find those things, but you had cuts that were banging.
Yeah, bro. So this strain you're smoking is a strain from Texas that we did. The 12-year-old strain, the Orange Fizzle.
Let's go.
I feel hunted that back in Texas, right?
They don't know about that. They don't know.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He pretty much taught me everything I needed to know via FaceTime. From the first harvest, pretty much, man. It was hitting the ground running.
That's that's my follow up question. So that first harvest, right? You're now in a different climate. You're fucking with altitude. It's not humid. It's dry.
I was battling things he hadn't seen.
That's what I'm saying. So how was that? And also how did that turn out? Because it's always a learning curve. So did that harvest even come out good? Or?
So the first couple harvests were just 4 or 5 plants in a tent. Right?
Okay.
I was in a rental house. I was just trying to get my feet wet.
Dial in that, then scale.
Right. And
I also grew with HPSs in Texas, old school style dinosaur lights, and he transitioned to LEDs as soon as he moved here. So
that's wild.
So I was like, I don't know how you're gonna get that with them LEDs, man. And I'm used to this.
Yeah.
It took about
different parameters, different light spectrums, different dry bath, different heat,
humidity, all that.
It probably took a year to have a top-notch product. Something that somebody would open the jar and say, "Fuck, this smells good." You know what I'm saying? So it took about a year for us to get dialed in via FaceTime. Then a year later, he was down here. And in that year, we completely changed growing styles to 6 plants, 6 lights, 1 big plant per light.
Okay.
We're doing big style.
For us, that's like the Cuban old style. Like that's what the other ones do is the big pots with the big plants.
They had to keep on that plant count to stay legal,
100%.
That's what it was.
I had a kid, so I wanted to have a legal grow in my house in Colorado and be good.
That's why you came here. If you were gonna fuck around, you would have stayed back home.
For sure. And after that second year, I think he really saw the time and dedication that I was putting in to have good shit. And whenever I told him, get down here, he fucking came, and it's been on the ground running since.
I've been hearing about you guys actually since I've personally been out here, so it's cool to see you making the moves that you're making right now.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate it. We were small for a long time, underneath that plant restriction, and getting out to some of these sessions that the town holds and meeting people. And the automotive industry here, whenever we had our shop, I had a lot of the community come through. They saw me posting constantly, to come to our shop and support. And
a lot of the hash community supported
I met a lot of people
shout out to the community.
Yeah, just by working on their cars and fixing their cars. That really have, like he said, backed us from the start of the business. And
then, so you move here. Is that when you first get the facility, or you guys
No, we've just got it.
Just got it. Okay.
It's been about 10 months, right?
10 months. And then you moved here how many years ago?
It's been about 3 now.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that 3-year span, you guys,
A 3-year span, we opened that auto shop. We sold the auto shop, and then in this past August in 2023, 2 feet in on the facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually worked from August 15th all the way up until about 4 weeks ago straight.
Every day.
Every day. And then
they don't fucking know what it takes to fucking make it.
Christmas.
You can't love
New
sleep.
Year's.
No. Yeah.
We've been in
Ain't
that
no
facility.
holidays. The plant's got to eat.
We've been in there every day, and we just got to the point, man, where we alternate every other Sunday. He'll take a Sunday. The next week, I'll take a Sunday, and we just make sure that workload's real light for that person that day. But we have literally put every bit of energy that we have into trying to get up here.
There's no plan B.
Yeah, there's not, man.
No plan B.
There isn't.
It's pretty gnarly. Like when I first started Stone Street, like it was 14-hour days regularly.
And
luckily
then
I
washing
got
on top
a crew with me now. But
yeah. Well, we're lucky, man. We brought a guy on, James, Handmade Hash. Shout out to James, man. He is a fucking workhorse.
He's a machine.
James.
We were using him periodically, for a couple days here and there, and I think he's probably been damn near full time with us for about a month or so now. But he puts in hella work, and he's really helped us be able to focus on our plants the way that we need to.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why you can see a change in the canopy thickness. That's why you can see a change in, the thickness of the bud at the end. Is we were running so short, man. Trying to run every shoe or wear every hat. and we were neglecting on the basics.
100%.
Yeah, we had that talk. So it was just me and him. We were having to do the computer work, the marketing, making the full melt, growing, and then one of the chops were like, "Hey, this chop's not really hitting numbers. We gotta."
We're like, why is our basement grows looking better than what we're in right now?
So we were like, we got to go back to the basics. We're growers first, bro.
Yeah,
like
sure.
we got to.
Sometimes you forget because you have to do all these other things, and it's pulling you away from
right.
what you need to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So bringing him in and throwing him on some tasks in the morning really gives us the time to sit there and fuck with the plants for
Really
2.5 hours or so straight.
Oh yeah.
That's
the way
good,
we
man.
grow isn't the easy way. So when we've had the opportunity to automate and everything, but
You want to talk a little bit in detail, like
we grow 100% cocoa in 3-gallon pots and hand water everything in the facility. And I know it sounds
we bought irrigation and ended up sending it back.
Really?
we just like to hand water. I know it's harder to crop steer and this and that with the hand water, but we get a good dry back, and I feel like we get a good face to face with every single plant in the facility. It's just an easy way to keep your eyes on everything. I like to be in touch with it. I like to check runoff on everything.
Oh shit.
And so, yeah, that's how we do it. We hand water every morning, every day. No automation. We use Athena Nutrients, Athena Pro.
Yeah, no, we're running Athena Pro too.
Okay. How do you like it?
I love it, man.
Dude, it's amazing.
Man, that shit
If it wasn't for
smacks.
that, I'd be running some other
Salt.
yeah.
The thing that we like about it, man, we talk about all the time, and we're actually super fucking thankful for, is the support that Athena offers.
yeah.
Shout out Athena. Shout
Shout out Athena.
Yeah,
Shout out
absolutely.
Jay. Salt and LED.
Yep.
All the boys.
Super accessible.
their grow information that they produce is just, or that they not even produce, that they give for free, is insane.
Yeah, they've done the work for you.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to follow their book by T by any means, but it is such a damn good guideline.
Yeah, we tweak it a little bit here and there, add a little bit of things or switch up some ratios, but it's a real good book to go by.
There's another podcast actually, We the Growers.
Oh,
and
amazing.
We
dude,
listen to it
like
all
some of
the
the
time.
information on there.
I've actually
Wow.
learned shit from that podcast in the last 6 months that I didn't know
Yeah.
about commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, shit, if you're willing to look, the information's out there, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, even
Or
if
if
you
you're willing
have it
to
all, you're
ask.
still got to figure
Some
it out.
people are
but-
scared to ask.
Ask and you shall
I-
receive.
I
There's
have
no
no-
such thing as a stupid question.
Bro, I have no problem reaching out to somebody on a higher
Yeah.
level than me and being like, help me get there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%. And sometimes you're not gonna get the response you want because some people are stuck
Oh,
up,
for sure.
and they either leave you on red or
Sure.
give you some fucked up ass response.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
there's
whatever.
another grower out there every time that
That
will
will.
answer that question.
100%.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's
We're an
us.
open
We're
book,
an
yeah.
open book. We're transparent. We want to give knowledge.
We want to
We
give it
definitely
and
don't
get it.
You're-
No, and every time I've sent a DM, you guys always respond to
some
me.
devil's
We
candy.
always have that back and forth, and sometimes I feel like I know some of these places are busy, but it's good to be able to reach out, ask a question. Hey, what flavors you guys got going?
Right.
Oh, what are you gonna be dropping? Oh, how do you do this?
Yeah, no,
I saw
open
this is
book and
looking good. What you
transparency on our
changed?
end, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
like we were saying, all the different changes moving up here and growing, like just the humidity and stuff like that.
That's
So
a
let me
big
tell you
one.
one thing that was a eye opener for me. So growing out in Texas, I was kind of isolated. There wasn't many growers around me. I didn't see many of these issues that all these other growers have. I'd never seen PM out there. I never saw spider mites out there. There wasn't growers around me for me to get that from.
Yeah.
I moved here and I'm like, hey, I want to get these clones from this person, get clones from this person. All of a sudden, in your grow room, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this growing? Or what bug is that? Or what is
Yeah.
all this shit? That was a learning curve coming out from to Colorado.
100%. Especially when, like in Cali, they have all these crazy genetics and it's always dropping the new thing and the new wave, and you want to be on that wave. So you go and you
Chase
find
it, yeah.
you find the nursery that has it, and you fly out there and you grab it and you take it home, and it has fucking hop laden like a motherfucker,
Bro,
yeah.
or it's full of fucking bugs, and you're like, I always say quarantine no matter what. I always try to put it
Oh,
on
no, you
myself.
absolutely have
You know what
to.
I mean? Like it's my
There's
fault
no
for
question.
taking a clone and not quarantining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be by itself for at least a week, in my opinion.
Week or two, yeah, for
That's
sure.
what we're doing. We
Dip it, put
Oh.
it aside,
Yep.
keep looking at it,
and
dip
send
it
it to
again.
Toomey and HLVD test
Oh,
it.
shout
That's
out,
everything.
shout
Shout out
out.
Toomey.
For sure.
Bro, I love those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've saved us quite a bit of headache.
Yeah, we test all our moms, all our genetics. We make sure it's up
We
to date
get
on
from
Toomey.
clean and tested. We test them, and they're not fucking
They're
clean.
never clean.
Never.
And they give you a good, I think it's the PCR testing or whatever testing that it shows the threshold. Because some of it will say negative,
Right.
but it's right under that threshold. And
Yep.
if you ask them, they're like, well, technically it's
Something.
it's in there, and the right environment or
Man,
the
we've
right
popped
stress.
beans with them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, we've
There's a
popped beans
transfer
and-
rate. I don't know if it was 30% or
Yep.
maybe a lower number, but
I have this theory that basically, like, you know, everything's been so crossbred that somewhere there's HLVD in everything. It's just about how healthy is that plant.
For it to pop up.
You know what I mean? Because if you take the healthiest cut in the
That's
world
gas.
and you go stick it in a room and you stress the shit out of it, I guarantee you'll be able to test that down the road and find hop latent in it.
I bet.
Well, and you can have a plant that has it and take a top off of it, clone it, and send that clone off, and it fucking passes.
Yeah. So our boy, like I was saying, our boy
that
James.
is growing to the side.
Yeah.
The branches are breaking. The leaves are retarded, and you're like, for sure.
And then
it
there's
has
some
it.
strains too. Like so when we took over my facility, we got everything tested by Toomey. And the only thing that came back, and they had all been cut with the same scissors, the only thing that came back negative, no matter what, was Blue Dream. And I'm just convinced it's because it's Blue Dream and it's bulletproof.
I mean, dude,
I was reading an article, I think, by
believe it.
Toomey saying some genetics were
Maybe
resistant to the HLVD.
yeah, I could see it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. That strain, man, was so strong and used for so long.
Can't even kill it.
No,
You
Right,
can't.
you
You,
can't kill
you
it.
throw it in the trash, and it's growing out of the trash bag. Eating off
there's
the
a reason
moisture
why
of the
90%
trash.
of the growers in facilities used it.
Yeah. Oh, 100. That was one of my first plants. I hit numbers with it.
Oh, it was bread and butter.
I hit numbers, but and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yep.
And no matter what I did, it would not die. It would produce. It just wouldn't get me high. And as you grow as a like a connoisseur or someone that's smoking every day, like you're looking for other things now. It's not about just it producing for you. Like it has to like taste really good. It has to give you a certain effect. It has to.
That's the hard
Do
part
things
about
for
pheno
you.
hunting. Sometimes having
Oh,
to throw
100%.
something out. You're like, man, you got to pick one or two. Which one's getting thrown out? You know?
Well,
That'd
that
be
and like
hard.
sometimes you feel obligated to keep one even though you
for sure.
shouldn't.
Right.
You know?
That's the
like-
thing.
Well,
the
if
best
veg is
one out of
strong,
the
though,
pack.
you know,
Yeah.
There's one right now we're about to chop, I think, called Funkadelic, and we're on the fence about it. It's a nice breeder cut. It's GMO crossed with Caramel Tsunami by Tsunami Seeds, and she washes great.
How's the
It's,
bud?
bud structure's great,
it's super dense.
but there's
Super
the terp,
dense.
not much terp on her. Wash is great,
It
beautiful
just
white
smells like
hash
a real
at a full
good
term.
hash.
It smells kind of blank palate.
It just smells like
Something
good
like an
keef.
Oreo.
But you feel like,
See,
man,
that's
I
how
don't
I
want to
feel.
get rid of her because she washes so well and
Well,
she's
she
so
produces.
easy. and
She's
she
an
8%.
8%er though, you know. Like,
Dude, we've had one 8%er like from to flower to jar, and I was maybe two. One was Wilson Zero.
And the
oh,
grape
Wilson's fire.
She fucking dumped on us.
Yeah, my
Wilson
boy
Zero.
has a Will Funk.
Yeah.
That is the Wilson Zero, I believe, with GMO. Dumps. That
I'm
smells good and tastes good.
I bet she's pretty. That Wilson, our Wilson would turn like pink.
Like
It was
the buds.
The hairs are pink and
Oh, the
shit.
whole bud. Like the whole plant would just be like a fucking Barney pink.
Oh my god, that sounds raw as fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Would you say it's kind of like an Oreos? Like it
The Funkadelic?
just doesn't have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She just doesn't really have she has a smell because you do smell her. It's just nothing unique. Like you can't pick up and be like, oh, that's pineapple or oh, that's gas.
Yeah, like
It just smells floral.
It just smells like a good hash plant.
Have
yeah,
you?
and we like distinct terps. Like our honey banana is like
honey banana.
a glazed
looks-
honey bun.
Looks ugly. I don't know about your
Oh,
car.
dude, she's so
It's
fucking ugly.
the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
It looks like some tribal plant. It's like
fucking
yeah.
some weird ass.
I know what you mean when you do that because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. But the smell on that, I could only assume the hash on that.
That's
or
crazy.
bean
She
or
did
something.
6% for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on? So you guys like you're hash forward guys, right?
So we're hash guys. Here's the thing: we're hash guys. That was our main focus. Right now, we only have an OPC,
Okay.
so we can't press in our facility. So that's why we started focusing on some full melt.
What's an OPC for the people that don't?
So an
know what that
OPC is the grow license only. We can't process rosin. We can make everything up until the point where we use heat. So we can make ice water hash, the full melt. We can make full melt bubble joints and all that, but as soon as we put the bubble on a press, it becomes a whole different product, and we got to get a whole separate license for that, and it's a whole the loop to jump through.
Yeah. I do have a MIP. I'd be willing to work something out with you guys.
That'd be fire, man. Yeah, because right now we can make bubble. We have a washroom. We have all the equipment for it. We've collaborated in the past with some people. So we'd definitely be open to that. Cool. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, dude, you always got to try, especially in this market. Like one of the good things is, as shitty as the market is, you're not going to be here if you don't care.
Right.
But the other flip side is you have to find every opportunity to work with whoever you can. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here looking for people I can work with. I'm sure
100%.
You are too.
Yeah, no,
it's not competition. It's how can we push each other forward? How can we help each other? You got something I don't have, or vice versa. Let's I want to see you succeed.
Thanks. Man. Yeah, absolutely. Same with us, man. We like to go out and see face to face with some of these growers and some of these owners. And along the way, over the past few months, man, we've met some really good people that like to grow like us.
Genuine people that got some real passion
care
for
about
the
plants. And then you go into some of
those people.
Yeah, sometimes you go into these places and they don't care, and you're like, yeah, you don't want to work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or you don't want to be associated with that, or you don't want to go down that path.
Right. Or there's lack of education, right? Like, like the person that's like, I just want to get a job at a dispo, and they work at a dispo, but they have no knowledge of weed. So they'll I've had this happen to me where I'll walk in somewhere and be like, oh yeah, we got this. And they'll shove a jar in my face. I'm like, I can tell that's 6 months old and it was treated like shit.
Right.
Why?
It's all turning brown and
this is the fire. I'm like, what?
Why are you trying to pass that on
what
me,
makes you think that? What's your
How much are they giving you on commissions to sell this?
It's on sale, $50 an ounce.
Dude, and what's funny? So we've been growing this orange fizzle so long, we were almost nervous to get it out into the public
because we're so used
to it. We thought it was just plain. We're like, man, people aren't gonna like this. It's just nothing.
And it's crazy for me. It smells like a super booth, but like a creamier super booth. And you're saying you've been growing this for
about 12 years, a long time.
Well, that's actually the daughter. So we had Orange Crush, which was from the clinic up in Denver that we got 12, 13 years ago. So it was Tangy crossed with Bubba Kush. Our buddy James, who's working for us, bred that out of our female, and he crossed it over with Thizzle Whizzle, which actually ended up making it wash better and more white. Because previously you would wash her and she would just kind of be like a peachy color.
She'd separate. Her terps were so dark. She'd separate on that cure, real white hash and a dark terp, and then you whip it, she'd get that orangey peachy color, And people didn't understand the color of terps, so they're like, I don't want nothing orange and dark colored. I want white hash. Yeah. So it was a little bit hard of a product.
So fire.
So it smells just like the Orange Crush that we had. That's why we picked it, because we ended up getting rid of the Crush when he made this. And it matches the same terp level, but the colas became solid. Instead of being stacked down, they became nice, big, fat fucking colas.
Yeah, it's
a prettier color hash.
It made it
and then it has Rude Boy OG in it, so it gave it kind of an OG high with citrus terp. So it's a really good fucking blend of an orange flavored weed, but it ain't gonna make you fucking racy. Yeah, it's gonna bring you down onto that OG level.
I was gonna say there's a little funk in there. I was wondering where that came from, because it has very strong, super boofy kind of, almost like clementine-y sort of notes, but then there's that a little bit of funk in there.
It's the Rude Boy OG. It was crossed with Cherrytopia?
I think so.
No, I'm lying. It was crossed with Thizzle Whizzle. Thizzle Whizzle has Rude Boy OG and Cherrytopia in it, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what it got bred with. So, we've been working with this family member, as you could say, for 13 or so years.
So it's nice. In a way, I feel like you guys were ahead of the curve. You knew that shit was the shit, and now a lot of people again.
And I watched the wave. People love it in the summer, hate it in the winter.
And James is a hash maker,
hate it in the winter.
So he knew that Thizzle Whizzle washes like fucking crazy, and so he mixed it with the Orange Fizzle or the Orange Crush to make Orange Fizzle.
That's raw as fuck. Yeah. You guys were ahead of your time, because I feel like there is a little wave right now with the super booth and bringing back those citrusy terps, because you don't see it much.
When he pheno hunted it, dude, I'm like, you got a fucking winner all day long, bro. Ain't no weed has ever tasted. And this was 12, 13 years ago. Ain't no fucking weed has ever tasted like that.
That's why.
Now there's a lot of oranges out there.
Yeah. That's why I'm like,
our new one that we
I'm
got,
like, whoa.
our cherry plantains. I tell you,
Cherry plantains. That
yeah,
shit
bro. We
sounds
got a couple
fire.
phenos. One of them tastes like a straight banana muffins, and then one of them's like a banana taffy terp, like a fake banana, strong banana.
Okay, the artificial bananas.
Right,
And all
the
these
artificial.
cherries,
shake and shit like
Right.
that type of.
all the cherries that we have are all from one genetic maker. One breeder.
Straight A genetics, Mike.
Okay.
Shout out straight.
I was gonna say because you guys said that a second ago. Then I was like, wait a second, did they do all those crosses?
Yeah.
Or
No,
you
just
guys,
people we know.
you found something you liked and stuck with it, kind of through that specific.
We've been
channel?
looking for a cherry, and his whole lineup has so much
Okay.
good cherry in it, and it's got a lot of really old genetics too, like mixed in with the cherries. And he's on to some other projects now with Josh O.D. and stuff like that we're getting ready to kind of hunt through as well.
Okay.
But yeah, Straight A Genetics. He's got a crazy cherry line out there, multiple different cherry lines out there.
Yeah, so this.
And for the cherry, not to cut you off.
No, you're good. This cherries is
Is it like a my high ass? Forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no, wait. So like the cherry, is it more like an artificial cherry, or you're looking for more of like that cherry pie, or you know what I mean? Because there's so many variations. Because like we do have like the devil's candy, let's say, and it has
Very
a
cherry
chemical
forward.
cherry smell to it,
Yeah.
But there's so many variations.
Yep. No particular one in mind, I don't think, in our opinion.
nah. In my opinion, the cherries it smells like a black cherry White Claw, even with that the spritzer smell and everything, like the carbonated smell.
Have you guys found
It's
that?
a Cherrytopia across with OGKB 2.1.
Have you found that some cherry strains tend to wash really dark or press out dark?
Not yet for us.
Okay, we
She's
had
beautiful.
cherry pie and I don't know if it was just super heavy on one specific terp or something, but
This is the
it
cherry
would
plantains.
always come out darker than the other rosin.
That's one of the plantains.
Yeah, that shit smells fire as fuck. Is this what we just hit?
Yeah.
And my ass coughing. This shit fucking bangs.
It's pretty.
But yeah, no, she's not dark. So they both of the cherries that we have right now that we've washed in the past is real like white.
Good as fuck.
Really?
We take it to about day 56, 58.
Okay.
Do you guys chop early? I hear, and you guys are
About 8
hash
weeks,
makers,
sometimes 9. We try to do full term.
full term.
We're
Okay,
flower growers right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I hear
Flour and
to
full milk.
widen your hash, some people would say
I'll
to
chop early.
to chop early because I guess the trikes are, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool and it's pretty. I've noticed doing that, you get like a quick head high, and it's not much of a real full-bodied medicine.
Okay.
So
And then
we
going
prefer
full term and having all the cannabinoids, all
Right.
of the THC or what have you.
prefer a more full-term product. And we
Yeah.
even do our hash. We like a full spec hash. We don't even really like to isolate the spectrums. We like a nice 45
plant
through
medicine.
150 or something. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then we'll do a 90 or some special stuff, but
Okay.
really we like a full spec hash, and our full spec hash comes out like looking like a lot of people's 90, pretty,
Yeah.
And some people will be like, well, why are you don't want those dirty bags and those dirty heads? And I'm like, it's not really dirty. It's a different ripeness of a cannabinoid in those bags. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing from dirty or clean.
Okay.
It's clean. You just got
I like
different
that take. Yeah.
different cannabinoids at different ripenesses on through all the bags, And so I like to get a full spec medicine. That's how I roll.
And I even feel like with CBD and like those full spectrum products, like it does better for me when it's full spectrum and it has everything,
Right.
all the cannabinoids and a little bit of THC and
I mean, there's stalks and there's glandular stalks and there's debris in those bags, but you clean it out. You wash your hash. You know what I mean? Make that clean, but the heads aren't dirty. The
Unless you
medicine
have a dirty
inside your
plant.
heads aren't dirty. You know what I mean? Right, unless you have a dirty plant.
So I was going to ask you because, I'm not personally a big hash head, but, this little discussion going on with like how long it takes before you cut or whatever, and then the ripeness. There's these like little fads that happen in the cannabis industry, right? Where they're like, I just want it to be as light as possible. Like coming from someone like you, like someone that smokes a lot of hash, would you say that you think the better product is actually that full term or like the one that's like
Better in flavor or better in medicinal?
in terms of just like overall round? Like you think that there's like maybe like a nice balance to hit between
or what is your
or-
take on it completely? Like what would you say?
Of me personally, the full spec, I can definitely feel my body medicinally more on a full spec. But I mean, you get a different flavor profile also on just the 90 and stuff. So if you want a different experience,
they're both good in their own ways.
They're both good in their own ways.
If you want to really flavor chase, you're probably going to be smoking on the 90U. If you're really smoking hash all day and you're doing it for medicinal reasons, you're probably going to want a full spec, in my opinion. There's a place for both. There's a place for both for sure.
So you would say the 90U, you would get a little bit of a more flavor.
It's more bougie.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more flavor. It's definitely a different flavor terp profile than your full spec.
Seems like it'd be like lower THC, slightly higher terp content, no?
Right.
Or slightly different, or
so the 90 bags are your most pristine, ripe, ready to go cannabinoids in that bag. So I don't know about the lower THC percent.
Oh, I meant in terms of like when you cut. So like early versus late. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because that like the later you go, they say the higher your percentage or whatever. But I think you also lose some of those essential oils on the other.
I think that when you go super full term, you definitely bring the terps down. I don't know what it is on paper whenever you test an early chop to late chop, but I feel like the longer the plant goes, the lower the terp outcome tends to be. I mean, I think there's a good balance point, obviously, when it's at the top, but I don't really know how to answer that one, to tell you the truth. I'm not real sure.
I'm always just super curious about this. It's like the more information we get, and obviously everything's very strain specific, but it'd be nice to kind of like have like a way of understanding like where that sweet spot is, whether you're doing hash or you're doing flower, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sure. And it also could be strain specific, right? Certain strains maybe go longer, so it is cutting it early when you're cutting at 8 weeks.
True. True. Like the honey banana, she could go for a while, but cutting her at 8 weeks for her is probably early. But for us, that's kind of like a full term. We say our full term, but it's technically probably early.
Yeah. No, 56, 58 is early in flower days. For hash making, it's I think it's that sweet spot.
Nice.
You want to try some of my boy shit? Shout out.
Is that Zach?
Yeah, my dog.
Yes, sir.
The farmer of resin.
It's clean. It looks beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been smoking on this shit lately. I forgot it's GMO and grapes.
So what did all we just chop these past 2 days? There's like 18 strains, man. Hold on, let me look.
So now, let's talk about that.
I got them. It was blues.
You got the facility.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had your trials and tribulations, problems left and right.
Oh yeah,
left and right.
Throwing grenades uphill, they're rolling back down.
We had to have a new roof put on, man, which really set us back. It was leaking, which
story of everybody's life.
It was leaking at one point, ruined some shit. Ended up getting it fixed. That actually ruined some shit. So definitely some step backs.
Yeah. You guys were talking about facilities earlier and like cleanliness, and I'm good on that. But like coming to Colorado, these facilities we're allowed to operate in, not designed for growing weed. So
disgusting.
Like, let's say you have negative air pressure. And a bug walks by outside. As soon as like it walks by a crack, it gets sucked into the building, like a vacuum.
Yeah.
Now I'm trapped here forever.
Roofs are leaking. You got stuff coming through the cracks.
Right. Old buildings with I don't know what in the walls.
Yeah, you gotta seal that up.
It's fucking disgusting. All these and there's some facilities where they have the funding where they're able to gut the whole thing and. Put everything brand new.
It took us about
9
a month.
times out of 10.
Yeah, we scrubbed it. We went through. We detailed the walls. We painted it. Took every light down. So the facility came with double-ended HPSs, the Gavitas, and we gutted it and switched it all to LEDs right away.
Did you get to try it or do you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
yeah, it was good. What was it?
The GMO.
GMO.
Yeah, that shit. Fire. And then we were smoking too, some shrimp cream pie. Shout out to I think it's Bean Fiend that made that strain. That shit's fire as fuck.
Those guys are on a whole nother level, dog.
I think so. I could be wrong, don't quote me, but I'm
those
pretty
guys
sure.
Are doing some
shout out to
unbelievable
Trike House,
things.
hooked it up. But Yeah, no, those motherfuckers are.
Some
They're
good
killing
stuff.
it.
When I saw the
Killing
opportunity to get that cut, I was like, "You better grab it because
Those
that
are the type
shit,
of guys that you want to follow and try to replicate.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're fucking
100%.
phenomenal,
They're on top of it,
Yeah.
and they know their shit,
They do.
100%.
and they're willing to educate people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole circle, dude. They're tied into the Athena circle.
Yeah,
That whole circle
100%.
just absolutely spills any information possible. They want their customers
To win.
to be able to grow the best
Yeah.
because that works out better for them.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
When you got people winning trophies and,
When everybody
and
on
they're
your team is
shouting them
winning.
out, yeah, everybody is put in a better position.
Right.
You know,
And I have people, I don't know if I'm sure y'all have heard it, Athena and Cardboard Terps. I still haven't.
that
I
shit
haven't
is
seen
wow.
it.
The
We
memes
get
are
our shit
hilarious.
terp
I laugh.
tested.
I laugh at the memes, but it's like
It keeps
we
winning.
go with Athena, and
It keeps dude.
Everything.
How many trophies do
wild.
they take?
Yeah.
in 24?
Yeah, I mean, we get turn tests, and they percents come back great.
like, I don't know. Yeah,
Like nothing against organic farming and shit.
Oh, not
dude.
at all.
Oh,
Some
organic's-
tasty shit.
Right.
Dude.
yeah,
know,
for
but
sure.
if
Or
you're trying to
synerganic or whatever
grow
you
like
do.
the hottest, like take that plant to its fullest genetic potential, you have like to the limit of what it can actually physically do. You
Right.
have to be able to do that with science, and the way to do that is through like very specific parameters, like ECs and things like that. You know,
Right.
and if you don't have that like full grasp on what's going on, like how do you expect to reproduce that kind of fire every time? You know,
Now you can push
It's a
the
blessing.
plant to the absolute limit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's something.
What do you stack up to? 8 to 12?
Fuck us. We get up, you know, probably I'd say like substrate EC 10, 12,
Yep.
You
So
know?
that's a peak for us, and we dial
Yeah.
it back down.
something like that. But I mean, dude, I've heard of guys running up to.
Yeah. And we can do that hand widen. We can get that EC stack that high.
Yeah.
I heard someone ran up. They were like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna run up to 40.
Jesus.
No
Yeah,
burn.
just to try it, and it came
Yeah,
out
you're like,
fire.
what?
It's possible. I don't know how it smoked,
Right.
but
It grew.
that shit looked amazing, you know. But sometimes looks can be deceiving.
It
you
can
know?
be for sure.
We've been on both ends. We've done a run at 1.5 EC, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even if you take it in baby steps, dude, you can still have a banging ass round with that
Yep.
nutrient line. Even if you start at half of what they tell you to.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely forgiving in the sense that it's
Way
so
forgiving.
clean that you can hit massive EC spikes without ruining your crop. So let's say like you're someone that's just trying to get into it, not even a commercial grower. Like you have a little bit more of a buffer before you really screw yourself. You know
it's
what I
definitely
mean?
one of the easier ones out there.
Yeah.
I was always a house and garden guy before advanced. Before I was advanced and then house and garden.
HG, right? Or no, it's something different.
Or some,
Is house
It
and
might-
garden HG?
yeah, I've never abbreviate. They might say HG on the bottle.
No, that's hydro. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we went to Athena. And, I wouldn't look back. I love Athena. It's easy.
Yeah,
It's
love it.
clean. That's what I like
Clean.
about it. The reservoirs
Man,
stay clean.
I've
you're
I've
not
done
scrubbing weekly if you don't want
so
to.
many different lines in a small scale and at a big scale. And when it comes to like simplicity, the quality that you get, and like it's hard to fuck. How do you fuck that up? You can't fuck it up. And you could, and if you know what you're doing, you could add additives if needed or do
Right.
certain things with it.
Yep.
And it's consistent.
Right. Yeah, we had one additive towards the end. It'll be the Moab, that little bit of potassium.
Yeah.
We'll add that a tiny
PK
bit.
booster. You know.
Little PK booster. Got that vitamin B1 in it.
Do you guys run the fade?
We do run the fade.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love the fade.
I've
Do
noticed
you-
that's awesome. It's-
Night and day
So we
difference.
Yeah.
nitrogen taper the nitrogen down. You know, a lot of people they're like, we don't flush anymore and all that, but I think they're calling a fading a flush now. I think a lot of people are calling a fade a flush.
Because you're depriving.
Just
of the
tapering that nitrogen
You're
out, you
getting
know?
more of the colors.
Well, I think a lot of that chloroform flavor that you get in the bud isn't necessarily from like newts being left in the buds, from there being all this extra chlorophyll and nitrogen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty much what it
So,
is.
like, if you cut that out, you can shorten your flush down to like, a day or two, like 2 days. It depends on how hard you flush too.
Exactly.
Like, what's your
You wanna know
system?
how long we do
What
it?
medium?
Like, how
you
large is your
have.
substrate? You
We'll
know, all
fade
that.
for a couple
So,
weeks.
Yeah, we fade for 2 weeks and then dial that fade down, and then last 3 days is
2 days we just hit it
that's
with
what we do
RO.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the strain, we have noticed certain strains. If we do introduce the fade too early, then you do get the burning on the leaves, like because it is.
Yeah, like the
For sure.
what is it?
And it gets too
strawberry guava. It finishes early though, anyways.
Exactly.
At least
So
our
then-
hood does.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
If you want to roll that up, you can.
you try and like
Shit,
put
yeah,
stuff that's
can't make it a
similar
good
in a
time.
section, right? So that way, like you're like, this feed isn't. There's different strains here. This feed isn't going to be perfect for all of them, but like we're going to set it right where like it's going to do
What's wild about
all of them as well as possible.
Well, we
you
won't
know?
keep anything in our area, in our facility, that doesn't work with our program.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. And you can watch the plants, the runoff, like watching the EC and the pH, how it adjusts or fluctuates on that runoff. It's kind of telling you what it wants.
And that's
It's-
how you guys are keeping on top of it with the hand watering. Do you have sensors, or you guys are like just checking and testing runoff to
Both.
then
No
Both.
sensors like Trailmaster or nothing like that.
agro?
We got like the little pulse meter that I can check on my phone
too-
and stuff like that,
Yeah, just to
Uh,
see where you're at.
right.
you
That's
know?
can't talk.
But we'll
Decent-
we still check
decent way.
runoff every day. Every day we'll check runoff on every table.
Yep.
And since you're hand watering, are you feeding multiple times a day to kind of stack it, or you got it to a level where you know how much to
Yep.
give the plant?
In the early stages of veg and real early stages of flower, we can dial back and do a skip a day.
For a hard dry back.
Yeah.
Okay, and like you said, what early veg,
Yeah, through veg and early flower.
early flower. Okay,
We can play with it. Like if we want to see more vegetated growth, we'll do a dry back, let them kind of stretch a little bit, and then hit them. Make sure the root zones are good.
But when they're really in that flower spot, we kind of got a feel for how to water them and get that 15% runoff or about that, and they hit that dry back for the next day.
15% of what you're feeding it,
Like a 15% runoff, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We get a more runoff in veg and less runoff in flower.
So you guys, you're in the
Okay.
3-gallon
It
pots.
kind of get
right?
it from the
Yeah,
vegetative
3.
steering to generative steering.
Okay.
So from stretching up to bulking out.
Yeah, we've been kind of trying to learn about that recently.
Yeah, we've
but,
been learning on. it says too. Though,
Talk to
like-
Jay. He's the one that wrote it.
yeah.
Yeah, he
I-
wrote.
The irrigation
You
program.
seen the Grow Link pamphlet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, got a copy of that. I've been like trying to figure it out.
dude, it's a whole different level.
So heavy.
He actually understands it way better than I do.
It's like real science.
Yeah, that's his department for sure.
Yeah, and I might have said it backwards. It might be more runoff in veg and less in flour. I can't think right now.
But what I was gonna say is, so you were
Yeah,
in
I think-
3-gallon
I think it's
pots,
like
right?
a
So
drought in the veg.
did
and then
you end
No,
up
you're
there
right. You're right. Harder
because of your hand
dry backs in
watering?
veg. You're right.
Where's
Less
that?
dry
early
backs in
flower.
flour.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
like,
correct.
And then you want to keep it saturated.
Exactly.
oh,
Correct.
Good side comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was gonna say, so that I used to. So when I took over my facility, it was all just 5-gallon buckets on the floor, and eventually we moved to irrigation. But like in that like span between, we went to a 3-gallon because that was like the smallest size pot we could use while only feeding once a day.
Correct. Yeah, if we drop down, it would probably be a struggle with how long we veg.
Definitely.
Okay.
If we went to 2 gallons, we'd be having
Because we
a
were in
P2
5
shot.
gallon and we weren't getting the playback that we wanted and
Doesn't
the
always
control
dry
that
back.
we wanted, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, let's try a round of 3s, and then we did it and nailed it.
Yeah, 3 is perfect for how long we veg. We veg for about 21 days, 28 days.
About a month.
Yep.
And that's from it being a rooted clone into its first transplant, 21 days of veg.
Yep.
or-
So we'll have a rooted clone, and that'll stay in the trays for about a week rooted. So we have space to put it into like our little 2x2 black cups,
Okay.
and those will be in those for about 10 days.
Okay.
Because we've got it down to about a 3-day limit from when we chop and move veg over, and then we move cups to veg. So it's all real close to
So those plants that are in the 2x2
Perpetual.
cups,
You guys are on a perpetual system constantly.
mainly because our plant, we only get 500 plants, so we got to stay within that plant count. And so the clones will go into the small cups, the 2x2 cups, and they're allowed to be 15 inches without being tagged.
Okay, so then
So
you could
that's
like
how-
top them and keep them there within the 15 inches.
So
And
that's how we do that, and they'll stay there for about 10 days. Then they go into the 3 gallons, they get tagged, and then they start going. And
think-
that'll be day 1 veg.
That should help
Okay,
you
so then
guys with
21
quality
days from
too.
there.
You know, it should help you guys with quality too. Like
Pot
doing
size?
perpetual.
Oh.
So you're like constantly putting up, you're constantly pulling down. You know, I've seen guys that do this thing where they're like, we're just gonna harvest it all at once, replant it at once, and they end up sitting on product.
For sure.
And like, if you want to be known for quality, you can't have old weed.
Especially now that they have an expiration date on it.
Yeah.
Now it's 9 months, I think.
Now it's a
it is
9
here in
month
Colorado.
expiration, so you can't really sit on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got your name on it, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
Gotta be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be good.
And are there any strains right now that you're like super excited to either put in rotation or have in rotation or to be able to, release to the market?
Let me see.
Shit, you got a list. You like, hey, I got a little something for you.
What would you think are?
I got top 5 right now.
Okay, we
give
could
me
get
top
two.
5.
We could get 2 different top 5s.
I got top 5 for me right now.
Let's go.
It's gonna be the Dulce de Fresa. She's a fucking crazy flower pack producer.
Okay.
Insanely beautiful colas. The next one's gonna be Apple Guava Cooler. Terps are
Apple
Guava
Cooler.
Terps
Is
are,
that crossed with that?
That's guava and Cushman's.
Okay.
She's crazy. She
Yeah,
throws
that
down
sounds
big
fire.
nice fat
Yeah.
colas too. She stretches a little bit too much for my liking, but the terps are insane.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
And this is the order, like the one that the first
Nah.
one you put. Okay, there's no order, just
Apple
the top
Guava,
5.
Apple Guava Cooler's top 1.
Top one.
Her,
Okay.
her terps are wild. Then it would be Han Solo Burger,
Okay.
and then it would be Dulce de Fresa. Astro Status was crazy. Sour papaya and guava.
Oh yeah. Astro Status from Clearwaters.
He's forgetting cherries 2.1.
Oh yeah, cherries 2.0.
No, that's his 5. That's
Yeah.
his 5. Now you're
Yeah.
5. Let's hear your
So
5.
definitely our cherries.
Cherries
Cherries
is crazy.
2.0.
Yeah, it's one of
2.1.
the ones that we pheno hunted. It's one of our staples in there right now.
Everything I listed is new.
So definitely that cherries, the apple guava cooler. She's up there. I mean, the sad thing are both of our number 1 we can't keep. So that's one of us. That's a sad story. It's Astro Status, and that's Ortega crossed with Cindy 99. And she is so beautiful, bag appeal, the smell, just white covered hairs, but she'll hermy on you so fast
She's like that old school.
and just
cow.
seed your whole place up.
For
You
real?
just can't have her, man. Yeah, nah.
We've
We just
tested her twice now, man.
Is
She's
that
flown
a
both times.
a cut that you guys acquired, or is that like a pheno that
we didn't hunt it. We acquired it, and the people told us that breeding project on that was kind of a lazy breeding project. That it was an unstable genetic.
Yeah, I had
So
a couple
we-
people reach out on Instagram and say they were having issues with the same genetic line.
But she is so goddamn beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
She looks
It
like
is
some
great.
gargoyle, cement, fucking frosty weed.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have a picture of her.
So that would be your number 1 if it didn't have. Damn. It kind of reminds me of how the
Golden Glove.
Golden Glove.
You
Yeah.
know, real little hair, nothing really to trim on,
hard fucking boulder.
but just
Hard
a boulder.
Straight nipples everywhere.
Right.
Damn.
Looked
that
like she was
looks
growing with
beautiful.
some PGR or something.
Yeah, yeah. That they look at it like, bro, what'd you put in
What'd
here?
you put in this?
Her stench level, man. If there was 1 through 10, she'd be 20.
Really?
It fucking reeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, pretty much everything he said. I'm real excited about this guava. I feel like she's gonna
guava
be. It's,
cooler, apple cooler.
Nah, we have
no,
regular
so we
guava,
got
too.
regular guava too.
Just guava.
Yep, and
Not
she's-
straw guava, not.
Right,
Just
just the
guava.
guava. And I think guava is just a gelato phenotype, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what we've been told.
That's what the
That's
research I've
crazy.
done. That guava is just a gelato phenotype. And
Yeah,
she,
that's wild because
Yeah.
everything that's gelato is nothing like that terp profile
Well,
or
it's
even
nothing
that
like the
look.
guavas we've grown. Like we've grown
Right?
straw guava and
I'm-
guava pie.
Guava
probably
pie.
wrong, but the research
Super
I've
strong
seen has
nose.
been that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what. I'm like, what is this? Is this dank?
Neon green, orange hairs.
She's turning purple on top. It smells. It's,
What? That's something I've never seen. Oh yeah.
yeah, no, she smells like cakey, funky, like gelato. I'm like, this is guava.
Hmm.
Maybe the person
Maybe
we got it
it's-
from named it wrong. I don't
Or
know.
guava gelato.
I'm excited about it. Whatever it is, I'm excited
As
about
long
it.
as it's fire.
You know?
No, that's good. Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. She produces good weight too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we did the blue sushi run. I think
And we don't run CO2. Let's
we
put
don't
that
run
out there.
CO2.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. How do you do that? You just keep the room temperatures lower, so it's not really necessary.
Keep that temperature and humidity in check.
Yeah, keep your VPDs good, boy.
It's something that we'll add in the future, but in the startup of this business, man, that was one thing that we couldn't put in our expenses, to tell you the truth.
We know we can get a good 2 a light for flower and, a good amount of jars per light without CO2. So we just had that decision at the beginning. Let's just run it without CO2.
I will say I would be out of business right now if we hadn't switched to CO2 when we did.
Yeah. No, everybody, I've talked to
We
Jay
would definitely get
about
an increase.
I feel like our rooms are
different
hotter.
facility probably,
our
but
rooms are
I mean, so
hotter,
who knows?
CO2, I think would do better for us, and we're not really.
No, that's something we're adding.
We're not really a hash person either, so like I feel like
That's
maybe
true.
CO2 might affect you in a negative manner, right? Maybe
I don't know.
You get less.
No,
surface
it'll help it
area.
metabolize. CO2,
Yeah.
I think, would only benefit, I think.
I don't know.
It's at the top of our list to add to the facility.
Okay.
But as of right now, everything that we've produced has been without it.
I mean, you don't need it to make fire bud. It just
Correct.
helps with the yields.
It helps with the weight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've seen like you can grow equally as fired weed.
Yeah.
With or without it. It just comes down to like getting that extra weight. I think
It's the
is what
biomass in
I'm
the end of the
seeing.
day is what's going to keep our
Yeah.
doors open.
For sure. I got to pay those bills.
Not cheap.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
We actually just did the renewal for state and the city. So we just went through that little struggle of the year. So now we're free rolling.
That's like one of the
We're
most
good at 11
aggravating
months.
parts of this business is like renewals coming. You're like, where's all the
Renewals.
paperwork?
I know,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Luckily, man, we keep pretty damn good paperwork. We're both
Oh, yeah.
pretty organized people, pretty OCD to some extent.
It's good.
So we have a pretty good system, and we've known each other so long, man. We work as like one fucking robot, but two different people.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
that, like, how is it working with? Like,
I mean, if we're-
a good friend that knows you so well, like,
If there's
you guys-
days that I'm slacking, he automatically can switch and pick up the role, and vice versa. If there's a step that we're doing washing that I notice he didn't do, I can hop in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a free flow of constantly a smooth work line.
Yeah. No, that's cool, dude. The guy, we had a falling out, but the guy that I originally was in here starting this with, we'd work like that too, and like you'd be in there, and it's like if I wasn't doing something and I was being lazy, I knew it, and I'd say sorry before he ever had to say anything. You know what I mean? I'd like get on it and fix it before.
Right.
Now, there's definitely days where
You know?
one of us will show up and be like, "I'm not feeling it today, bro," and automatically
all
you're
right.
like, "All right, I'm stepping up." So.
Yeah.
We pick up the role real well when the other one is either busy or doing something else, because we're running, every fucking position right now, man. So
Yeah.
On top of running a family at home.
Yeah.
it's easy. It's easy to forget to dump runoff, and next thing you know, you're like, "Fuck, he's collecting my runoff." So,
you were saying
or
you
the
guys.
runoff overflows and
Right?
none of that.
So you were saying you guys got another guy in too, and
Yeah.
like I can't I'm super stoked that it sounds like it's working out. He's actually taking that load off, because with as crazy as these businesses are and how hard they are to run, if you're gonna bring someone in, they have to be someone that's gonna actually get shit done.
He gets shit done,
Man.
and you don't have to really teach him anything. He knows the basics.
He knows a lot, actually. He's
Yeah,
he's
more than the
very-
basics.
Yeah, he's very, very, very knowledgeable in the plants. He's very knowledgeable in the washroom. He trims faster than anybody you could ask to come and help trim. And
sounds like the perfect employee.
I mean, he'll do the work without you having to ask him to do anything, really.
yeah, no,
Trusty.
real good people, man. We would be fucking drowning right now in work. We wouldn't be here. We would be there fucking trimming or something.
Right now.
Shout out. Thank you
Yeah.
for alleviating some stress off these guys.
Yeah, James, thank you.
Yeah, but appreciate that.
This is good. What is this one?
Thank the cherries.
Yeah, the cherries.
Oh,
It's really good.
I want to see more cherry terps out there.
Same, dude. We've got a bunch of seeds from Mike, man. You'll give him a follow. He's got a website, I believe, Slept on Seed Bank. Yeah, Slept on Seed Bank.
That's an
Everything
awesome name.
everything that he has out there. He's got a few different drops of different kind of cherries, and then they just did a project with a bunch of Josh O.D. that is looking
Trying to bring those
crazy.
OGs back. I'm
Oh
sours,
yeah,
man.
bro. Some OG, some
I miss
sour.
it.
Yeah.
And his seed packs are super fucking affordable, man. And he does freebies all the time, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I miss those
dope as
OGs, man. I had an OG 18 in Texas. I had for years.
Oh no, OG.
They called it "Oh No OG" because it would get them so high and paranoid.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, "I don't want the "Oh No OG." When you have a smoke that people don't want because it gets them too high, it's like, oh man, I was so proud of it, but no one really wanted it.
Yeah.
Man,
Bro, you don't want to just smoke
I
one
miss
with me?
it.
Nah, I'm good. I gotta go.
man, I miss that thing.
It's like you're peeping through the blinds after hitting the.
I know, dude. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I
Nah.
couldn't handle it. He'd bring it over like, that's all you fucking brought, man. I can't smoke that shit.
So like he's him and I'm you
Yeah.
because it's the same shit. He's like, I love this shit, and I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm dying.
I'm over here contemplating what I did in third
Yeah.
grade, bro. What the
Exactly.
Did I turn in that homework? Like,
fuck? It's real, bro. I got to be real careful what strains I smoke on.
Start putting on my tinfoil hat, you know,
Right.
like
the
the radio
waves are
waves.
And the older I get, the more it happens.
The more paranoid you
sure.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a handful, man. The cherries I really like. The Kush Mints is real fucking good for my anxiety like that. Like as far as like getting too racy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found like
Cushman's
the
is
light
chill.
kind of fruity sort of terps and stuff.
Yep,
If I can
same.
find like a nice light fruity smoke like
Banana's
that,
real good
usually
for me.
is good for
I
like.
feel like those just don't get me high.
Yeah, but you're crazy.
Or like the high is very short lived. Even like the straw guava, like it's a good day smoke. I'll maybe smoke a joint of it, but then
Yeah.
I'm just like, I need more.
Bro, I always
My
end up
body
going back to the
needs more.
Cushmans or something like that.
Christmas was fire.
So I like Kush, and when we test our Cushmans, she comes back with a bunch of CBG.
So maybe that's.
I'm
the
like,
more
what is that?
body
What,
and
yeah,
more
and so I look it up,
relaxing.
and it says that's like 10 times more powerful than CBD. And I was like, maybe that's why I like this Cushman so much.
Yeah,
man.
it's more medicinal for you. It's actually doing something for you. It's hitting the receptors that you needed to hit.
I love her. I always go back to her. I'm a Cushman's whore.
I fuck with Cushman.
That's for you. You said you like the citrus.
Oh,
shit.
he
Oh,
loves
yeah.
it,
Is
bro.
this the-
Like,
oh.
yeah, for sure.
Dude.
And if you guys want to grab anything
my
too
God.
before we leave, but what's it called? Like I have right now the Dirty Dade that I made.
James made that.
Which is
So
like
fire.
Dirty Taxi crossed with Biochem, back
Yeah.
cross to Dirty
It's like a
Taxi,
cheesy
and then
Super
cross
Bowl.
with
Like,
Gorilla
crazy.
Fumes from Skunk VA.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of those onions, skunky terps, and for me it's very euphoric. Like I smoke it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, I feel good. I want to do shit. I want to clean.
Right.
That's this fool. He gets high and he's like, I gotta go clean something. I'm like,
Yeah. That shit. I love it. You know what I mean? It makes me feel productive.
Right. What was that one we smoked the other day? And I was like, man, I just got my dick in the dirt. And then all of a sudden I caught myself cleaning. And I was like, wait, why am I cleaning? It might have been the Zushi.
Nah, it was
The
the cherry
sushi?
plantain.
Oh, the cherry plantains.
Cherry
And I was like,
plantains?
yeah. I just felt my back relax, you know, the pain kind of go away. And I was like, I want to get some work done.
Yeah. I'm just in a good mood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at first it's like boom, but all of a sudden you get, you know, a little bit of energy. And get going, I guess.
So, you guys said you were in the CBD stuff before you got into all this.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we had Dr. Rasta on. He's big in that, and
Yep.
he left us a big old doink if you guys want to smoke it.
It's like a CBD joint.
No, it's
No,
like
it's
it's got some
flower.
like our stuff in it,
Oh,
a bunch of
yeah.
other people's stuff, but
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah,
flour.
if you want,
It's-
I'll grab it.
It's like a 7G fucking baseball
He ain't
bat.
fucking scared.
Yeah.
He ain't got
Shit,
no,
we
no
ain't
in it, does
scared.
he?
That's right.
I have
You
to
tell
sneak
him.
behind you right over there real quick, but yeah,
Hell yeah.
we're gonna grab that thing. I told him I'd smoke it on another podcast.
Oh yeah.
Shout out, homie. Thanks for the.
Shit.
Doink.
Appreciate it. While we wait on him to grab that, I see you got a cornucopia of products here. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you have and where to find it or where you
Yeah,
can
so right
request
now we have our flower jars. We got 8th jars. We got Orange Fizzle out right now in 3 locations at Mary Meds, a Cut Above, and at Zips Dispensary in
it?
Colorado
Shout out,
Springs.
shout out to all those.
Go give them a check out. Check it out. We're about to have our full melt in stores and our pre-roll joints in stores. Also our pre-roll joints infused with our bubble hash. And then depending on how this MIP collaboration goes, maybe some rosin in stores for y'all soon too.
Pop, pop. You guys ain't ready. They ain't
Some
ready.
crop street.
Fizzle.
Crop
Some
Street.
crop street.
Even if you guys want to
Children
wash
of
it
Canna?
at your
Children
spot
of
and
Canna.
then kind of
Damn, we
like
just birthed
figure out,
something.
work something out where you come here and press it.
Yeah,
like,
well, we already got all the logistics on that done. We would have to turn it into bubble, get it tested,
Yeah.
and transfer it here.
I don't even know if you have to test it because
Nordic claims you do.
really,
Yeah.
Of
see,
course, Nordic wants all the money in the world. Shout out though, they're great. I love you.
if it was going to be, the testing is very
Be
interesting.
on our side, Nordic.
If you did it in house, you wouldn't have to test it if you're going to turn it into rosin. It's the end product that has to be tested.
If you have the MIP, I think.
I think the testing between the grow and the MIP is more about liability,
Oh, okay.
right? Like,
I
so
mean,
like,
you would know more, man. We're brand new at this shit.
Yeah,
so
you would know
please
more.
teach us.
Under our impressions, it has to get tested.
don't
from-
don't quote me, but my impression
Make
was
sure you look
that
at the handbook before you make any
essentially,
decisions.
like,
So I think the difference is because it changed facilities. For us to move it facilities, it has to be tested before it gets to you, and then
Okay.
you have to test the end product.
what if there's a contractual agreement or something? Then it's like it's just moving down. I don't know. I'd have to talk to a lawyer, I guess.
We'll get back to you
Yeah.
on that. So you said the orange fizzle. What else do you have? Other flavors as well?
We have the Funkadelic, and we had
that's the one that you think you might cut because of the terp profile.
yeah, she's the terp.
Well, we're trying to limit it down to like 9 to 12 genetics in house at a time. And as we as we pheno hunt things, we'll eliminate and take off the board. But right now we have too many, so we're going to try to dial back, and we're going to run 3 different strains every month.
harvest.
Yeah, so we'll have 9 in rotation at all
You
times.
read my mind. I was gonna just ask you that question. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, because when having so many strains, like, what do you? And with testing and
right
things
with
of that
testing and
nature.
just the height of the plants and maintenance of them. It's easy having a strain per row instead of having 15 strains per that row, different heights,
It's
different.
3 tests. every
That's a
month.
doink.
yeah.
Look at that
And-
thing.
And when you guys are feeding and you have each section, do you ever have to change the growing style depending on the plant?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Hand feed probably like helps with that a little bit because you can actually switch it up on the run. You know,
No
like,
doubt. I mean, we got one strain right next to the other that may drink 4 Mississippis instead of 3.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Just to get the same amount of runoff. So
nice.
Definitely.
So then you
You definitely see the strains that eat heavier than the other ones.
and are you having to make a different tank, or is it just one big tank and it's able to feed what you need to feed that day?
We keep everything in a pretty good average, in a pretty good range. I mean, you can tell that there's certain plants in there that would like a little bit of a different adjustment based on the runoff. You can tell that there's some
that can eat more.
that can eat more, and there are some that want more calcium or magnesium. So you can kind of tell that their runoff is a little lower than some of the other ones, you know, because that's what they're searching for. So you can kind of tell plants here and there of what they're wanting more than the other plants. But we keep them in a range to where they're all kind of happy.
Okay. So you're not adjusting to those plants.
No,
You're
we're not adjusting to those plants. And if she's not happy in our facility, we're not
Then
switching
it's-
everything up for
I mean,
a
if like
special
the
grow.
EC,
Okay.
if the pH is a little low on one compared to the other, I mean, maybe we'll overfeed it that day just to get that runoff a little bit more.
Right, and we can do it with that. You
Okay.
can get that particular plant a little more runoff to get that up if she needs it. But
Like if you have one sitting lower than the rest of the room, you can tap it a little bit longer and get that runoff a little bit higher.
Okay. And are you guys ever gonna do like breeding within the facility? You
It's
think?
not on my radar.
not on our radar. More pheno hunting, but no breeding.
Okay.
Just hunting.
Yeah, at least right now, man. This is the early stages for us. You know, we're still making adjustments every week.
Oh, for sure.
You know, until this thing is a fully rolling, chassis, we're gonna just focus on quality.
Nice. How many plants do you see having flower at a time?
We run 300.
Nice. So that's actually with
It's
the hand
manageable.
watering stuff, it's super manageable.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like, you
It's-
can
it's
actually
manageable.
pay attention to
Exactly.
all of that. You
Yep.
know,
And that's the
Yeah,
perfect
that's
size
cool.
for us right now. You know, we could not handle more at the moment with the size of the crew and the budget that we're on.
Yeah, dude. Like we used to hand water 1,500 plants a day,
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like, not
Oh.
irrigation,
I try to forget
Right.
you know. But I mean, yeah, it definitely. I've seen people do it and do it really well. So
I mean, it's doable. Now, is irrigation and all these computers and Trollmaster and all this worth it? Fuck yeah, dude. AI is insanely invested, or not invested, but incorporated into these computers these days. And people are fucking crushing numbers.
Oh, for
running,
sure.
Running
Yeah.
automated and Dositrons.
Crop steering like crazy.
So, I
and
mean, are
really
we gonna do
nailing it.
that? Probably in the future whenever there's a budget for it. But for the time being, man, we're living the dream hand watering.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've always thought of this industry like one of those video games, you know, where like you start out and like you're just like a caveman. Next thing you know, you have like you got like a
Level
house,
up, build
you
the
then you
fort.
got like a you know like a whole community. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Right,
you just slowly
exactly.
build it up.
We didn't expect it to be as challenging as it has been, honestly, man. Just the learning curve that we've had to take on while trying to take care of plants and
Right.
families is
Like the building,
crazy.
just the building itself, like the structure of the building, fighting against that while trying to take care of plants. You know,
Yeah.
coming into a building that's supposed to be
So we're taking baby steps,
No.
man. Just
Yeah.
trying to
turnkey.
stay on the
Yeah,
on the path of
turnkey.
moving forward. Yeah.
Funny.
Sure.
You're not the only ones with roofing issues. Ours has been fixed like 6 times and it's still not
It's-
fixed.
It's about
And then they
fixed.
come say it's condensation.
"Oh, yeah, it's
and
done."
It's like, okay, just it's condensating on just one spot.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and it's flowing.
It only condensates when there's a river running
Right.
down the road. It's
Right.
really weird, you know.
Here's the time lapse from the last
Yeah.
month when it hasn't fucking rained.
No condensation. How crazy.
Weird.
Condensation.
No, we're lucky, man. The landlord's helped us out in that. She's filed with insurance. We still have to get one section of it done, which is where the veg is. So
So the flower room's it's safe now. It's good.
Yeah.
It's got the new roof, so we're good to roll on that side.
Nice.
No more worries. We've had a bunch of snow and rain, and no more issues at all. So we're good with that.
Oh yeah.
You got some extra AC too, you were saying,
Oh,
right?
anybody
Yes.
need an AC for sale? We got 2 extra.
They're like 5 or 10 times. Yeah.
Yeah, we got 2 extra.
Yeah, the facility was built out for an HPS grow. It was designed by Gavita and had 50 of the double-ended Gavitas in there. And we switched to LEDs, and we didn't need all those ACs. So we got some extra.
I mean, we could move them and use them in like the lobby area, but it's not necessary. Nor do we want to spend the money.
50-degree lobby area. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
I like mini splits. I like mini splits and zones. And so I would rather
So you
just
could
go.
be able to control each little section and
Mhm.
what that section requires or room requires.
That's what we want to do in the future.
It's just easier, yeah. So I'd rather just get a
is
mini
this?
split than pay someone to move that AC
bubble
over.
bath.
Fucking tasty.
Bro, I love that shit. I've been smoking
Mhm.
that shit like crazy.
Does
Bubble
it have
bath?
soap genetic or something in it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
This I taste
Project 4511 or 4516 from Granda
I
Flora.
thought it was soap.
Cross with soap. Tell me no. Like I feel like you get like a gas in the front, and
That's
then when you
fire.
blow out, you feel that
Yeah.
little like soapy or oily
Soap with little
taste in your
gas
mouth.
on it. It's almost
For
got
sure.
some like Georgia pie
This
to
is
it
you.
or
This is you
something.
guys.
Yeah. Well, we didn't
well-
we didn't breed it.
No, I'm saying that's y'all grew that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking fire.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Super fire.
Yeah.
I like a good soap, and that hits those.
This
those
yeah,
herbs
this is gonna
This
be
is brand new for us.
yeah, it's
Is it?
gonna be something
Fire.
new. All this stuff is
congrats.
gonna be
Yield good?
releasing. The sherb cream pie, the bubble
Oh
bath.
yeah, we get
The burnout, that one is not. I don't think is good for a commercial level. It's like an OG. You're not gonna.
Okay.
You're not gonna get.
It tastes like it.
You're not gonna get weight. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get.
All the good ones are like that.
it sucks, man. Like we need some OGs that like hit and smoke like old school OGs, but look
like
and grow.
the new
Check
like
out Straight
new
A.
shit.
He's got the new crosses.
No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna check them out.
Check them out.
Shit,
Yeah, this is tasty.
Fine
You can
line.
definitely
that
taste
shit's
the
so
soap.
tasty. Like that's right now one of my favorites. Like, so again, I smoked the Dirty Date. Also, the Dirty Merlot is another strain that I made. It's black maple crossed with Dirty Date.
You need the torch for that bad boy.
Yeah.
Dude, I know, right?
I don't know.
Fucking
Um,
cigar torch.
and the terps on that is crazy. We're gonna be releasing that as well.
Well, congrats on that because that's fire.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
it's always nice to see
teamwork
the
makes
new
the dream
flavors,
work, you know.
So
And
we just
shout out to all the places that carry our stuff, you know, keeps us alive and on our toes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. This is
sharing
fun.
your story. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Fucking, I'm ripped as fuck.
It's cool too being down Colorado Springs, 2 different Colorado Springs companies, you know.
For sure.
Because, you know, it's a very untapped place in terms of like what's going on down here. It's the second largest city in Colorado, the first state to legalize, and
For how popular
one
our
knows.
state is for
Right.
it, we don't
You
have
know?
much options out here.
No,
It's wild
Not
that
at
there's
all.
not rec in Colorado Springs yet.
The community is small, but it's strong.
for sure.
you know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like the Springs is very, since all the military bases is super conservative.
Right.
You know, like the people I hang out with are not. You know, so when if I look at like my group, I'm like, man, this shit is popping. I don't know why. You
Right.
know, but then you look outside and
For sure.
it's a lot of military people, which is crazy
That's true.
because like I'm seeing a lot of more military people starting.
It's
That thing.
fucking huge. Yeah. Fuck
Start
yeah.
smoking.
why not? Yeah, it's hard to rip, so you gotta like you almost gotta like puff on it like a cigar, or like you take a hit, little out, you know.
Baseball bat.
Yeah.
Big league slugger. What's
Like-
in it?
I should have got the torch.
He's
Oh,
like,
whole
dude,
mess of
he's like, I
stuff.
put a bunch of stuff.
Ready
there. He's
pie,
like, there's some of your
probably,
weed in
black
there.
maple.
There's some, you know, so I don't know, but I mean, at least it's not just trim.
No doubt. It's still here.
That's one thing we do not put in our joints.
Yeah.
Zero
Yeah,
sum.
well, that's you were speaking about earlier and about your businesses. You guys choose quality over quantity, you know, and
Yeah, and putting it in these jars, it helps out a lot. We can go through and really hand pick the quality that goes into the jars versus just selling a dispensary a pound bag and a pound turkey bag with a bunch of smalls or something mixed in there. We can really
you can really QC it and give
Exactly.
the consumer or the patient exactly what you would want, right? You know, it's something that's been QC'd, hand-picked, packaged properly, and
Right.
and preserved
Right.
as much as you can, right? Because it's a volatile.
and even the smalls don't even go into the joints sometimes because we'll wash those. Like these premium flour they have in these jars is what's going in our joints, our pre-rolls. So that's one good thing that we have an advantage of being able to wash those smalls and keeps the quality of our flour just the premium of the premium.
Have
Oh, yeah.
oh damn it, what the hell?
Baseball bat.
Oh man. Oh no. So yeah, have you guys thought about doing like bubble hash infused joints?
That's
or
yeah, for
anything?
sure. We
Yeah, we've got a label ready to go for it. It's in the very near future.
we'll have the
Okay.
bubble hash infused ones.
With this recent chop that we just took down, that's on our board.
Nice.
Yeah, and then eventually, I'm not sure. I know people have requested it, but they want more of the hash hole style joints with the full melt or some rosin.
Oh
in
yeah,
them, you
yeah.
know? So we have that on our radar in the
That'd
future.
be so cool. Do you know how to make those? Like every time I've tried, I've.
Mhm.
Shout out Token Logan. He's got some good
Oh,
ones,
he
bro.
does. Yes, he does. I've had this shit at some events.
Yep.
Yes, he does. So, so
Thing's gnarly,
you could
dude.
probably do that
For
shit
sure, we
before.
spoke with him on it too.
Yeah,
Yep, so-
because like it's a craft. Like
It
some
is a
people
craft,
think,
man.
Some people
Too
think
dense.
it's just putting it in, and it's not
Right.
really.
No.
You gotta know how much to put so that it smokes
That's fucking
right,
right.
not too little, not too much. Where it's placed, how tight or loose you roll
Yeah,
it,
it's an art.
you know. And then also smoking it is an art because like I've smoked.
Oh, it's an experience. It's an art. I love it.
That it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. for
Look
sure.
at that thing.
Dude, the bonfire.
That's awesome.
It's good.
There you go.
Pass the baton.
Over here smoking baseball bats.
Y'all know who Devin the Dude is?
No.
The rapper,
Yeah.
my boy. Shout out, my boy Armando. He went to his concert. He was wearing like my gear and shit. He took pictures and shit with him.
Right.
Oh, that's
He's
rad.
got a song with them, man, and we rolled a fucking fat ass.
Get the fuck
joint.
out of here!
No, that's the homie, bro. We got music together.
Yeah, we said your whole
awesome.
life story and you're holding back on us.
I got some music with some Houston
Shit,
people,
so you
some
make music, you're a
ESG and
producer?
Devin the Dude. I would just kind of rap a little bit. So I grew up with music. I played
too,
guitar
son.
since I was like 9 years old. You know,
Oh,
I started
acoustic or
acoustic.
electric?
So I took a music music theory class was Suzuki method, so I had to learn how to read and write music.
Suzuki method, is that like Japanese or something?
I'm not sure. Maybe maybe the guy who wrote the program was or something. That's what they call it.
Don't quote me. I'm sorry.
But I had to learn to read and write music
That's dope.
before I started really playing on the acoustic.
Oh yeah.
So I did that, and then I switched over to an electric and started a band, and we played for a while.
What was the name of the band?
It was called No Real Purpose out in Houston.
If you ever want to jam, dude, hit me up.
Yeah, he plays the guitar. And
This dude can play fucking any instrument.
Yeah.
I
I love
used
the
to have a drum
drums,
set.
guitar,
Yeah.
bass, piano,
Fucking go all
anything
out.
except like wind instruments. I can't really do
like
those.
flutes and
Yeah,
saxophone.
I can do a recorder, but I've never really played any other flute instruments.
Okay.
I wanna
How
get
about a
set of
violin? You can play a
drums just to
violin?
make people mad.
He's good.
Hit them.
I could probably play a little something on the violin.
Yeah, he's good on the drums.
String instruments are my thing.
Really?
Play the violin. That shit would be
Violin's
dope as
badass,
fuck.
dude. Cello. You ever heard of Apocalyptica? Crazy band. They like play like
Yeah,
metal
yeah.
covers and
Yeah.
shit just on cellos.
Yep, I have.
Yep.
Badass.
Raw as hell.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so
How did that come to be with this guy? So you had the band.
So yeah, and then I just started. I was always into music, and then we broke up because college and everyone kind of goes their own ways, and I was growing a lot of weed, and it kind of wasn't their thing. And I was the smoker, and they were kind of more straight edge kind of people.
Oh, they're straight edge. They weren't like
They were-
the other drugs.
I mean, they understood because of my situation, but they
Yeah.
weren't on that type of level with it and all that. It wasn't like their life like mine.
yeah.
And so I wanted to get into music and kind of just went on my own with like hip hop and rap.
Nice.
Do you have like a, I don't know, what is it called, like a stage name or you would just have like your regular name or
I was Don B.
Don B?
Mhm.
Hey, that's
B.
raw.
Yep. And so I did that for a little bit, but just focused on growing. Really, it was fun. Played some shows, got some music with some awesome people. Met a lot of awesome people. Got music with Devin the Dude and
Yeah, talk
ESG
about those features.
out in Houston. Yeah, it was fucking amazing, dude. Smoking with Devin,
Devin
rapping
and
with
ESG.
Devin,
Oh,
and it's like it's like and he'll.
Yeah, we took a big ass joint like that to the recording studio and smoked out with Devin. And
He's
Nice.
super chill. He'll pull up to the studio, drink a couple beers, smoke a joint, and just freestyle.
Oh yeah, and it's
You
good
know?
to hear like those.
He just makes it happen.
Yeah, you see these people and they're just normal people too.
Well, yeah, and my producer was Track Sounds out of iMix Studios. Shout out Track Sounds. He's the
Shout
one
out,
who
shout out.
he hooked it up with all these people. He knows all these people. He produces for all these main people out in Houston.
yeah,
So
Maxo Cream, y'all know who that is?
Maxo Cream.
He's a
all these
big,
people.
big
yeah.
rapper. He's
yeah.
yeah, it's Track
Oh,
Sound.
Yeah, so he hooked me up with some of these people, and we kicked it off, and they like my weed, so it was a good relationship.
Yeah, that's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And they've come out here too, and
They do shows out here. They come out here. Yep, I haven't done any shows with them out here.
no.
No.
Have you told them about the facility? Have you had them come by?
Yeah, I
and
told
stuff?
them, I say, hey, if
Do
you
a
got some
little music
artists, you want to do a
video?
music video, you hit me up. We got a spot. So
Shit, hell
yeah, they're like, we'll let you know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I always grew up with music as well. My brother used to like rap, and then rest in peace, my boy Serge. He used to do like production, and he would rap as well. So I was always around in the studio while we were making beats, rapping, and then
Studio
have
vibe is so
features.
much fun.
Bro, I love it, and I'll be in
Yeah.
the back and just
Sitting there
you should do
smoking.
this. Yeah,
Smoking,
chilling.
it's just beating.
Sometimes doing ad libs or like go in there and talk shit. I'm
The
like,
ad libs was the hardest part, bro. You're like, man, that sounds stupid.
yeah,
They're like,
'cause
nah,
you're
just
only
go,
hearing that part. Yeah.
just woohoo in the back or
And
some
then
shit.
you hear just that track or that when they lay it down, and you just hear that just pause. Ah,
Yeah.
yo,
Right.
that's right.
Give it a little yeehaw on the back. What's your fucking mean? You got country rap, boy.
Come on, yeah.
Do you guys know who Hollow McFly is?
Oh yeah, shout out. He does music. He's here in
Yeah.
the
The
Springs.
Springs.
We did his podcast recently, but he's looking to do podcasts with other guys in the cannabis space.
Nice.
So if you ever guys want to get on,
I mean, that was fun. We just went over there,
we're
like,
definitely down to be on
kind of shot the
podcast.
shit.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
smoked a bunch of
exposure is
weed.
exposure, man.
oh for
Yeah.
sure.
We love talking. We
It's
love
a
telling
new
our
business,
story.
man. We're trying to market every way we can. It's hard to market weed.
Oh, for sure.
Dude,
Because
you
all
gotta
these
get out
fucking
everywhere
shit.
you can, you know.
Yeah.
Like, thank God for the internet.
Yeah, man. There's definitely that's definitely a good platform. That's for sure. Now, if they would just stop restricting so much.
Oh my
shit.
God! I'm not gonna say who, but we all know. We all know who it is. The culprit. You can't go live. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, he's been in Instagram jail for what, 6 months now or something.
Fucking forever, dude. I can't.
The ones we do not speak of.
Speak of right.
30 days, 60 days. Bro, I did a duck race with my boy, shout out Panda, and like he does duck races to do like giveaways, stickers and shit. And I did a duck race, and like now I'm banned from going live.
Yeah, you
and
can't
they
do any
restricted
kind of
me.
like raffles or nothing.
Yeah,
like
none of that.
Yeah.
It was worth it though. We were having a good time. I was there like, go duck, go duck. There was like a Batman duck and shit. Right?
That is hilarious. That
There's
sounds cool
so
though.
much
Bro, that shit
ridiculous
was so
shit
fun.
people get away with, and like
Oh,
you can't.
Oh yeah,
have
you can see a
weed.
beheading or somebody
Like-
fucking. I don't even want to say what, but
Yeah, no, you see some things that you don't want to see.
yeah,
On
but
some
that's
people.
fine. That's perfectly fine. But you know, medicine or things that is now being in
Well,
question that is beneficial and helps
It might
people.
change with this new scheduling if it follows through and maybe
I got
they'll
mixed
lighten-
emotions on that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
me
how to
too,
feel about
man.
it.
So how does everybody feel? Let's go around the table.
Ah.
How you feel?
Heads or tails.
Yeah, like what's?
That's-
I have two sides: the
Sometimes
conspiracy
good, sometimes
side
shit.
and the logical side.
heads or
Right.
Like,
tails.
That's
if like, let's shoot us the conspiracy side and then the logic side.
I don't. So conspiracy side, I don't think that it's necessarily a great thing. It might be a good step in the right direction down the line, but it depends on how involved everybody is, man. I mean, there's theories that a pharmacist is going to have to be at every dispensary.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What the? That's so
That's
much
crazy.
expense.
right.
Right.
You know what a pharmacist makes a year? These dispensaries can't afford that.
Pharmacists gonna start making less.
Welcome to the cannabis industry.
Not only that, you know,
None of
then
us
you
are
have-
getting paid.
you have a pharmacist that maybe doesn't, smoke or do anything, and then they're gonna be the ones to tell you, you only need a gram. That's
Right.
what we're gonna distribute because of your weight and your height, and that shit doesn't even fucking
Right.
blow smoke up
Or
your
it's
ass.
like your prescription, like it's your doctor writes. I mean, right now you have like your doctor can write you like a plant count or
Yeah.
whatever, but let's say like it comes down to like, oh, like you get 2 grams, you get 5, or like, and it's like, dude, what?
Right.
I
you
don't
know?
how to smoke this.
Meanwhile, you go to liquor store, buy as much booze as you want. You buy the whole liquor store. If
That's
you
my
want.
theory. I mean, just regulate us like it's alcohol.
You know?
Let's be real. Let's stop
Yeah.
pretending that this is something fucking bad.
It's not, dude. Like, no one smokes a joint, goes home, and beats their wife. Like, if they were thinking about it, they're probably stopped.
I just saw
You
something
know?
today. They said
Like,
that
that's what alcohol does, though. It's like,
we're in a time where people go home and smoke a joint rather than go home and drink beer. This is the
Yeah.
first time in history where there's more of a percentage of the smokers than there are the people that go home and drink wine or whiskey or beer.
It's true.
So I mean, let's stop pretending.
yeah, well, and the booze is so much more harmful. Like, I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I have problems with it sometimes. You see some crazy shit on my story, I was probably having a couple beers. But
Just assume alcohol was involved, right?
but like at the end of the day, like a lot of these people that are anti-cannabis, they go home and they drink every night. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, if only there was some like
Or start in the morning with
understanding,
mimosas.
Or take their
Yeah.
Percocets and Xanax to start their day, and then fucking.
I mean, this has been an
value
argument
midday.
for 30 years. you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's your
And a
theory,
martini.
Doug?
The same. Ditto. I feel the same.
Heads or tails.
Yeah. There's
Sometimes good, sometimes shit.
There's a couple of decent aspects that will come out of it, assuming that Colorado respects our rights as people that, run these businesses within Colorado and the structure that we've been able to operate within. Because if it goes federal and we're allowed to keep operating the way that we are, because it's already federally illegal.
For sure.
And there's already a framework here for us to operate. So maybe at the end of the day, that just means maybe you pay a little bit more in taxes, but at the same time, you get tax write-offs now, like 280E or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the write-offs
and you can
aspect
bank.
to it, and you can bank, which is fucking huge.
Yeah.
I don't know if you bank or not. there's only one or two options.
Yeah.
And
Herring.
and it's
Yeah.
expensive.
Dude, yeah, no. I mean, it was costing us like $1,200 a month.
Exactly.
We recently got it down.
Did you?
But yeah. No, it's not cool, you know, like because the government doesn't recognize it as having any medical value, it's considered strictly an illicit substance. So, you know, if we were kind of putting that pharmaceutical space like bad, you now deal with the FDA.
Yep.
You know, good, they might be better at that job than the med.
You know, no
Maybe
telling.
not.
Maybe maybe more funding.
It's probably another
possibly.
give take, you know what I mean? But it'll open up funding for cannabis companies because you can bank. So now you can go take your business to any lender, and all of a sudden, like, you know, but then like the whole big pharma side of it, back to the conspiracy side, like, are they even going to bother growing plants? Are they going to outlaw all this shit and just wipe it clean and be like, fuck you? Or
We can make it in the lab. You know.
yeah, it's like, why even bother growing a plant
It's
when
synthetic.
you can just order some compounds and mix them together and, you know, make a fucking pill.
You're not telling me they haven't duplicated it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've got a compound that's going to react to what smoking is. So
Marinol.
Yeah.
And that's been around forever, and it doesn't really do much for some people.
And we've had
Most
this
people.
conversation a couple times, but like, I don't think that they have it down to the point where, like, you know, like we all understand that there's these different little mixes of the cannabinoids and stuff that make up the experience and the medicinal value to it
And
as
they
well.
all work synergistically with each other.
Yeah.
Facts.
So how much have they been focusing on that when basically, like, I don't know, like how deep in it are they? Are they deep in it enough
you gotta
to understand
think it's also an election year
nuances?
too. They do a lot of crazy shit in election years.
Man, 100%. They had
True.
4 years, and then
You know,
right
they
at
do
the
a lot of
end-
things to get votes.
All this talk and it just goes right back to how it was probably.
You know, no telling, man. I heads or tails.
Yeah. That's it. It's a wild conversation, that one.
It's just unknown.
Yeah.
You know, no one. I mean, there's 15 different theories you can take as far as what you think's going to happen.
It's just like a mixture of fear and logic, you know, just fighting each other.
I mean, we
'Cause
pray.
it's,
You know, we pray for the positive. That would be cool. You know, they had better funding and better resources and allowed us to keep operating the way that we are. But putting a person in every dispo, man, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I just think of overhead.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Or they're going to do a crash course and make you guys pharmacists.
Right.
I mean, yeah, sure. Pharmacy tech.
You got a
and,
degree, pharmaceutical cannabis.
Dude, you get into cannabis because you
2-year
want to grow
program.
plants. Next thing you know, like you're like a photographer, a pharmacist,
Plumber.
a fucking,
Oh,
you know,
man,
like
everything.
Doing everything.
HVAC
electrician,
Sales,
yeah,
yeah.
like every
Sales,
single
yeah.
job under the sun.
Plumbing.
Accountant.
Like,
That is
I just
true.
wanted to
You
grow
become-
weed.
I just wanted the license to be legal, man.
Janitorial
Extra shit.
services.
Yeah, that's how it was in Texas, man. You had to learn to do everything because you couldn't call an electrician to come fix some shit at
Oh,
the
no,
grow.
they'll snitch on you quick,
You had-
fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, so you learn to become a plumber, an electrician, all that real fast.
You fuck up a couple times. You're like,
Right.
not to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus,
YouTube,
certified.
college, boy, that shit will help you.
it saves you money too, you know, like if you do it yourself, dude. The other
Most of the
day,
shit's easy.
we just had a breaker blow or a fuse blow, like a 350 amp fuse or whatever. Never replaced one in my life, but I wasn't paying an extra $250. So,
YouTube.
you know,
Yeah.
Just kill the power and let's pray that when I turn it
Yeah,
back on.
exactly.
To my dog who helped.
You know,
That shit fucking you have to do it, and it's like you learn out of necessity. Like there's no plan B, and you got to figure this the fuck out. Are you either gonna give up or are you gonna figure it out?
Right. Yep.
And nobody here is giving up. So.
No.
We figure it out.
And if we don't, we ask Instagram for help.
thank God for that community, man.
Yeah.
Especially the community here in the Springs has been
They
It's been a
helped
blessing,
us so
man.
much with
100%.
equipment, lights, trays, tanks, everything. Genetics,
That's fine.
knowledge, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one good thing that came from the market struggle, it's that people have really been kind of like working together and
So that's that's interesting, because the person that we bought it from stated, he's like, I've been in this industry since the beginning, and no one talks to each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now there's kind of this wave going on. And I don't know if it's just because this is what we're doing, but we're reaching out to a lot of people, trying to build those relationships, trying to build those connections. How can I help you, and how can you help me? Because in the end, bro, everybody here is here for the same reason, for the most part. So
Facts.
if I can buy your dab pad or your sweatshirt, and then months down the road you support us by buying a jar, bro, that's love all the way around.
100%. You're keeping the money within the community, and
sure.
you're just passing it to each other and just keeping each other wealthy.
Yep, trying to keep everybody afloat. So when we can support somebody, I'm going to give a shout out to Johnny and his wife, Nina.
Shout out. Yes, sir.
They're local.
Johnny Boy Eats.
They do stickers, and Johnny does food.
Johnny
man.
Empanadas.
And I go out of my way to try to support these guys, because they go out of their way to help support us. So anything like that, I don't know that it used to happen prior to the downfall, like you were saying, but I wasn't here to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've had conversations with a few people, but I've never seen it as open as, there was kind of this weird thing that started happening kind of right around the same time we got into it, where people were like having these events, and we go meet and talk to people. And it's like, I think some of it comes down to just how guarded you are.
For sure.
And
we got a big guard up for a long time.
Yeah. So. But, if you're willing to be like, you know what, like, it's the same thing with like growers showing information, like sharing information. Like some of them are like, no, some of them are like, yeah, but like, it's like at the end of the day, if you're confident in what you're doing, it's like, I can give you my whole recipe. It doesn't mean you can fucking rebake that pie the same way I did.
He says that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah, you can tell him how to do it.
It's like there's no harm in it, and the guys that are already producing
like
fire are going to do it anyway.
Dude, I don't worry about telling anybody the recipe. I'll tell them, and they still can't cook it the right way.
Because if they're at that lower level and they want to come up, bro, fucking build people up.
Yeah,
100%.
That's what it comes down to.
You were there at one point. I was there at one point.
Yeah.
And I've
been that person in the inbox, like, yo, what's this white shit on my leaf?
Yeah, is that frost? I never had frost look like this.
So, I mean, there's no dumb question, dude. If you don't know, reach out and ask. Somebody's going to tell you whether it takes you 3 tries or 1.
100%.
If you want to learn.
And also, I feel like it's your duty as somebody with knowledge or with experience to reach back down and
send the elevator back down.
100%.
You can't just keep it up there.
Look, these are the trials and tribulations I had. If I could get your learning curve quicker, she could be propelled even faster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here you go.
That's
shit.
I learned.
If I could save you 5 years, bro, I struggled
Right.
these 5 years. Here's the 5 years.
Yeah, that's what he did.
If you don't want to use it, though, that's on you. But
For sure.
here, it's there for you.
If anything, it puts the pressure back on you too, to keep you from becoming complacent. It keeps the water you're walking through fresh. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because when you teach, you learn.
Yeah.
100%.
And you got someone coming up under you, and you're like, oh fuck, they're growing fire. Like, what am I doing? Now you're like, it's like competition drives good weed. If you care about good weed, you should put knowledge out there. You should be willing to, be in this ever going contest of who, you know what I mean? Because like everyone's pushing each other. You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you mean
in a positive way.
Yeah, and like if you think everything you grow is fire, but I don't know, like, and you never smoke anyone else's shit or what, like I think it's important to get out there, talk to other people, see what they're doing, see their stuff.
Dude, there's
really
so much good
if,
hash around the town.
Oh, and I make it a point to try it. You know what I mean? At least grab one, or just to see what's going on. And then it opens up your eyes like, damn, these people are killing it. Or like, damn, everybody's on the same wave. Or you could kind of see what's going on,
For sure. Shit. Who? Shit, Mikey, he's killing it. I love his hash. Mikey dabs it.
Yes, sir. Shout out to him and his girl.
Yep.
Good people.
I don't know if y'all know Hash Hounds. They got fucking amazing hash around town here.
I've heard of them.
I don't think I've tried it.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're fucking killing it.
It's cool. I just keep lighting it. It'll never die.
Like
Zach has good. Yeah, Zach has good.
Resin Farmer has fire shit.
Yeah, well, I would like to work with all of them,
Oh, hell yeah.
Collab and network, spread knowledge, talk hash.
Collaborations are fun, man.
business. Yeah, no, for sure.
Because you have plugs that they don't have. Like we may know dispo owners that you're not in, but you're in stores that we're not in. And if we collab, well, guess what? Now they know about both of us.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
And now you got more eyes on your product.
I mean, and dude, we're all small too. You know, like we're working against these massive corporations out of Denver and stuff. You know,
They're starting to fall off. Some of them,
And-
some of these big boys.
Even the places
So
here.
we're Fisher Price level, dude.
Yeah.
We have 500 fucking plants. That's nothing on the scheme of things.
I mean, it's part of the reason why we started this, because like we want to bring more attention to the smaller bits of the community, you know, and people in it that are operating like yourselves, like us, like a couple of the other people we've been talking to.
People
Because
doing it out here in Colorado. You know,
it's
you always
like
hear stories of
no one's going to put us
California.
out there. Let's put out the people down here.
Down
You
here,
know what I
yep.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were in a group in the auto shop called B&I, and it was like a business networking system.
Okay.
And we would meet up once a week, and pretty much we would get together with other business owners in the city and discuss ways on how we can each network each other's businesses and refer business to
We
other
just
people
throw each other leads all week.
and throw each other leads. And so,
is so
if we
raw.
could try, and it's kind of what we're trying to do in the cannabis community, like we're trying to work with other companies, how we can throw each other leads, how can we get each other sales here, you know, locally. How can we get the money in the city to each other?
Build that Rolodex.
Instead of the bigger people,
Right.
you know.
You got an edible company versus a flower company. That flower company can help push the edible company. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, for
That
sure.
can both, yeah, you can help. There's ways to network and refer and help each other.
For sure. You know, like, I mean, this whole, you know, potential MIP thing, like, I am not currently doing the rosin thing. You guys are into it. If that works, like, it's actually,
That's where our heart's at.
it's not only of no contest to me, but it's cool that we can do something together and maybe even end up on a shelf somewhere. Like
Right.
flower, you know what it's like, who knows?
Super cool. Yeah.
Super dope.
It's a lot of potential when you have your mind open and you're willing to work.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of
it comes
opportunity
down to
out
the
there,
small
you know?
business, aspect, man. It's like a small farm town, little community.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or like if you live on an island, like this is all we got is
Yep.
each other.
Right.
So whatever you're growing, plantains and papayas, and I got avocados and limes. We're trading mangoes. What you got?
Yeah.
You got meat? Okay.
Exactly.
Seeds? What are we doing?
Right. Even though it's all cannabis, it can be different products. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool too. Like, let's say, you know, you guys have your particular strain set or whatever, your things that you like that you grow, right? And you can grow something super fire over there, and then we have our stuff that we grow, and like that can come out fire. Then the next guy's got his style, so like it's different terps, different plants. You know, I think like the biggest mistake any of us down here could make is like growing the same shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Especially when
it's
there's so much out there.
yeah, so
100%.
cool to see all the different flavors and stuff, and like the, you know, and it all comes down to the growers, you know.
Right.
It's all fire. It's just different stuff, which is cool.
For sure.
The variety is
see.
awesome.
That thing still.
Smoking now.
going,
That
yeah.
shit started. Like I was gonna like this joint, but like that shit's hitting so hard right now. I don't even.
It's actually smoking now.
It's
Yeah, that's
actually
what I'm
going.
saying.
Yeah.
It's just
Good.
smoking good.
It had a flavor too, almost cakey.
Yeah, I almost like taste some of that Georgia pie in there.
Is
I
that what
think.
it is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That might be what I've been tasting.
That Georgia pie is fire. That shit might give people the panicies though.
Not me. Tough today.
Yeah, my dog came ready.
That's what that whiskey drink on the way here
Let's
was
go.
for.
You
I
knew
wanna-
what you were getting yourself into.
I want to get that. What are we trying to get? That Texas shoreline. I'm trying to get some of that in my hands.
What's that?
It's a strain from Galveston out in Texas, man, from the 90s.
Staple out there, boys.
She.
It was like that, like
Yes.
turn, like the turn whenever like everything became like dro. You
Yeah.
know? It was like back in like the dro days, like at the
Yeah, I got
indoor. Yeah, it was
So-
just some good shit.
It was a bag seed found in I can't remember which strain. Some kind of a chem strain, I think, but a bag seed found at a Grateful Dead concert at the Shoreline Theater. So they called it Shoreline. Pop that shit.
But it's using a lot of crossings. Like if you look back in a lot of these genetics that are real popular these days, Shoreline's deep in there.
They say a lot of the cans and the skunks come from like those Grateful Dead concerts and people finding bag seeds or finding.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking right.
Seed's underrated, man.
Hey, man, one of the dankest ones that we've planted was a bag seed.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
You never know.
We didn't keep
You
it,
never
but
know.
she was good.
You never know.
I get
You
scared.
could hit the jackpot.
You
know?
could hit the jackpot.
Or you could hit something that's gonna hurt me. And
Super
yeah.
unstable. That's what I get scared of. I'm like,
You know
this
what I mean?
thing
'Cause
hermied or something.
Exactly.
So it's
Either
got
there
something
was
unstable in
pollen
it.
in there, or it had to come from something unstable.
Right. So I get scared of those.
But it's
sometimes.
feminized, right?
Yeah.
How much female? How much male? Though? Those tests don't tell you
it's
that.
either a herm or a female, basically, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
At that point.
cross back or whatever. You know what I mean? They're both female plants. So.
And what type of terp profile did it have? You said it was like a chem.
Yeah,
Or
she's sour.
Shoreline, yeah. A little sour.
That's how I got
sour
high school. So I remember getting
diesel, some
yeah.
fucking.
It's like that.
some
You know, you ever had white rhino?
I-95. I had white rhino, but that was like when I was in high school, and I really don't know what the fuck it was. You know
See,
what I mean? Like,
it was
like the
kinda
white
like that.
widow,
Yeah.
the white rhino.
It's similar to
G13.
Right.
I would probably put her close to like the widow.
Sour widow or something.
Oh, I've never had sour widow. That sounds fire.
Right. Shoreline. Texas shoreline.
I hope you find it, and when you do, let me
We
we
know who
did.
has it.
Yeah,
we just need to get it here. Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll be hitting you up, bro. You know who you
Well,
are.
it's hemp. It's hemp.
Yeah,
So
Fuck
just
yeah.
send that shit overnight.
you know.
That's the cool thing about cuts, dude. There's no teats. You know, a
Nothing.
lot of these
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things.
I know.
They fall
seeds,
underneath that
cuts.
farm bill.
Yeah, 100%.
They do.
That
Yeah.
should be raw. I can't wait.
What's the post office going to do? Grow that out?
Right. And then for the on the med side, like MED just made us like the sources of clones to get into our facility so much easier.
Yeah, they
You know,
they
like,
opened it up and
they opened it
they're
up.
allowing
For sure.
to bring in stuff. You know, you didn't have to breed it.
When we first got the
in-house.
facility, it wasn't like that. So we were like,
we had to
damn.
outsource.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
you had to-
we want
you
our
did a
own
lot of
genetics. you know?
Before it was like
Yeah.
every facility in Colorado, all of Colorado had to pretend that they bred apple fruit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
We weren't around for that.
It's like, how are y'all doing this? How are y'all getting all
You
this?
don't even have the same crosses.
I mean, you can name it whatever you want. There's no patents or you know what I mean. But like they're like, yeah, we bred that.
Yeah, we entered the scene right before that, so we didn't get to experience that whole ordeal. But now, if you got a badge, you can bring them in.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know,
Sure.
Makes it a lot easier.
Well,
easier.
Exactly, and it allows the small people to compete. You know what I mean?
oh for sure.
Now you could have some crazy flavors. Now it's accessible to
Not
you.
everybody's growing fucking Blue Dream.
Yeah,
They got the Zushi now because we can trade clones.
Yeah,
They
like
got
there
the
was
exotic shit.
a couple approved vendors before. So like if you wanted to be legit, you had to like let's say go to like Clone Colorado or something.
Right, yeah, Clone America.
But like now it's like you're technically allowed to get them from any licensed facility in the U.S.
yeah, you can ship them. It
or-
says fibrous or something
Yeah,
material.
or like if you have a employee,
Yep, an
that
employee of a
has it.
facility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like he could bring it in or
Yeah.
whatever. But you
No,
know,
that was a blessing, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, I mean, there's so many things we got to stress out about. It's like
That's one of the last things. you
Dude,
want.
compliance.
yeah.
Compliance is a whole nother game.
it's
Compliance, and you got to stay on top. I mean, it's one of those
because
a license that's hard to get and easy to lose.
yeah.
100%.
You
So-
feel like you always have a guillotine waiting over your head,
Right.
you know, like all the time.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And you're putting in these numbers, like I don't want to hit the wrong button on this website or on the metric, you know.
Well, yeah, and you guys are a small crew,
Oh,
right?
damn
I'm
it.
a small crew. Like
Yeah.
I've had to learn all this shit, you know,
Yeah.
from other growers or whatever.
Dude, I've had to
and
reach out to
Trial and
complete
error.
strangers and be like, I really don't know
Yeah.
how to do this.
Yeah, we were
then you
real.
hear the horror stories of like, oh, like someone got shut down because they did that, and then you're like, how do I not do that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Like-
we bought an existing grow, and I was like, there was no guidance at all. It was you're approved, here you go. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no one told us to go on an MED website and how-to videos or
No,
how
they
this.
don't come in and
expected
go
you to
like,
know.
oh yeah, by the way, like this is how you do it.
no training.
They're basically
No,
like,
nothing.
get a lawyer and have him teach you how to run the whole thing.
Right.
It's crazy.
by these
You know.
bylaws.
And luckily the woman who sold us or was the mediator between the person we bought the dispo from, the realtor who sold us the license. She owns a dispo in town, so she schooled us up a lot along the way on what we were gonna have to do. Yeah, shout out Garden of the Buds, Tasha, for helping us out. Yeah,
dope.
schooled us up and taught us a lot of the metric and was like, y'all gotta get this shit down. It's like, she's like, some people don't make it past this, like the metric and just the testing will kill.
Yeah, it's
companies.
a whole job on its own.
Yeah.
It's a whole fucking
sure.
job on its own.
Well, just like keeping it all, the whole workflow in your head and everything, and then
It happens fast. Shit stacks up very quickly.
oh yeah, because like you do the work over the whole course of the day, and then like you got work to do the next day, and then you're like, oh shit, now there's like 2 full sets of things I have to enter. You know what I mean?
right.
So yeah, no, it's a lot. People that don't have to do that firsthand don't really. Yeah,
Lucky.
very.
That's the most stressful part, in my opinion, man. The day-to-day, communication, sales, growing, packaging, designing, that's all so fucking easy and secondhand.
Yeah.
You put me in front of that computer and I'm just like, fuck.
Dude, we didn't get into this to be computer and compliance people. We're farmers.
For sure.
Like
I'm not a computer person. I'm a tools and bolts person. I did automotive for fucking 20 years. I don't do computers.
Yeah, like it's one simple button on metric where one of us had to be the designated batch collector, and we didn't click that button, and we didn't know. We get an email and a letter, hey, y'all got 10 days to switch this. We noticed y'all aren't in compliance because y'all are sending Nordic tests, but none of y'all are certified to be the batch collector to give Nordic
So
the
we're
test.
like, oh, fuck, dude, we're fucking up.
like, y'all got,
what do we got to do?
They're like, y'all got 10 days to fix it. And we're like, what?
What?
Yeah, stuff like that, you know? It's
Like,
It's
why
like
didn't anybody
the-
tell me this?
It's like the IRS, dude. They won't tell you how much you owe them, but they will put you in jail if you give them the wrong amount.
right. Exactly
That's
like
not what
that.
we have.
It's like that, man. But we're learning as we go and going with it. Luckily, we don't have any issues with like Department of Ag or any of those people. We've always grown clean from the beginning, so none of that's really a worry. It's just the computers.
Yeah, the computers and the roof. That's been the biggest hurdle.
I mean, if you're entering it like we do, I still do. We do everything by hand, like harvest, like tag number, weight, or like transferring it from veg into flour. You put in the tag number for each one, moving flour. But I mean, at the same time, like the problem is, occasionally I run into like a human error issue.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I put a 1 instead of like it was like 11 instead of 01, or you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I put in 11,000 grams
And
instead
then-
of 1,000. Damn it!
And then you gotta like go backtrack through the whole thing and like find
Figure
like
out.
call support.
Hey, metric
call
support,
metric so much.
nicest fucking support call, like center. I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
You call any support, TV support, internet support.
That shit
Anything.
shipped out to some other country.
Oh,
You can't
bro.
understand them. They put you on hold for like 2
I will
hours.
say the people that answer the metric call are nice.
They are.
And they help you
Yeah,
through.
They help.
Thank
you.
They know you're
Thank
trying
you,
to be
guys.
compliant.
I tell them like we're new. I'm clueless.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to do this? Even after watching the videos, there's still so many unanswered questions.
You can watch it, but the comprehension's another thing,
Oh well, dude, the metric training videos were not made by people. They're made by software people, not people
Exactly.
that know how to relate it to a gross situation.
Right.
They're like, you put this here, and you're like, well, and then you like start doing metric. You like learn like, oh wait, I create these categories.
Yeah.
I do like.
Right. I create these items and
You
categories.
know what I mean? You're like,
What?
like that item. Like, what do you mean it doesn't exist?
Right.
And then
Yeah,
you're
no,
like, oh, you have
we've
to make
definitely-
those yourself.
We've definitely had some fumbles, man, in the beginning of inputting something wrong or labeling something wrong or making a batch number wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's just been there's been a lot of error, but luckily we're picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you stay in business, who cares? Because we're just here for the weed. So.
Right.
No, the computer's my favorite part.
I love the computers. I
Shit,
pride myself on being very good at computers. Like, what? Like, we'll get it right, but fuck. What a headache, man. Swear to God. The things we do for the things we love.
Right.
It's definitely a love-hate relationship, man, but it's our passion.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we're in it for the long run.
It's stressful.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Growing weed. And they're like, oh, you grow weed? That sounds peaceful. You're like,
Be like, were you off this weekend?
yeah.
Was that nice? Yeah, I wasn't.
You're right. Can you go on
I
vacation?
was attending to some plants. Yeah. And when I leave here, I got to attend Some more plants.
Pretty much, man.
I gotta go back and spray.
Yeah.
Like, I've had weeks when like the only time I smile is when I'm literally laughing about just how bad everything's going.
Oh, what? The breaker went out again.
It's really, yeah.
We lost power. Good for us.
Just rolling with the punches, man.
Yeah,
There's a
shit.
saying, man, if you're not struggling, you're not growing.
It's true.
So
Fuck.
we're struggling and taking steps every day, every week, every month. That means we're
like a
consistently
motherfucker.
growing, bro.
Yeah.
So, just don't stop.
And is there anything you want the people to be on the lookout? Certain drops that you guys have
Some
coming?
new plans or something? Or
I mean, we have our pre-rolls coming out. We have our pre-rolls infused with our bubble hash coming out.
You see that?
We are going to be talking with people about having the hash holes. And it sounds like we're going to be talking with somebody about a MIP collaboration. So that'll be coming out soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now we just have our premium flower tops and these joints available at the moment, and those are at Zips Dispo, Mary Meds, and A Cut Above.
No, third day,
Nice.
third day apothecary.
Third Day Apothecary, take that back. Third Day Apothecary.
Okay.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Right on, man. Well, we wrapping it up then?
If you like, we could keep getting high. I could keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, shit.
Shoot some shit for a minute.
Cool.
So you guys are in a car, or you got an auto shop or hat, or
Yeah, no. So I went to college. So I got kicked out of public school. Not kicked out, but asked to attend this other school. Graduated early, man.
Wait. Let's not skip over this. What do you mean you were asked to?
I would perform better at this other school. Is pretty much what I was told. So we looked
Public
into
school
it.
is not designed for you.
Yeah, I was there. I was there to socialize, man. I wasn't there.
Public school is
to
too
learn.
free, too loose.
So I went to a charter academy, and they made you work. Part of the program of the school, you got out at 12 o'clock, but you had to go to a job once you got out of school.
oh, crazy.
So I got a job at a shop at 14, 15 years old.
Having the best time of your
Dude,
life.
I went to
Oh,
charter
man.
school. We went to school twice a week for like an hour, and I
Yeah.
surfed the rest of the time.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. In my opinion, it was the perfect school for me. Late, you show up late, you leave early, and you get to make money, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
say less.
That's cool.
So I got into automotive there. Went to college, learned some diesel engineering, and then worked in the automotive industry for years. And after everything happened in Houston and we moved to Austin, I got a real fucking good opportunity to work at an automotive shop that was growing in locations.
Okay.
And I got to be a part of that and open up stores with them. And I was the general manager for a few years, but I've done automotive since high school. And he's seen me go through, the steps of vacuuming cars out, washing windows to running multiple stores.
That's
and
awesome.
we had the opportunity to get into a shop here in town, and another gentleman that used to work with us in Austin was moving out here. I was like, bro, let's fucking start up a shop. It's low cost. You don't have to buy a bunch of shit at the beginning. You got to buy a car lift and rent and power.
That's it.
We already had all the tools.
Yeah, we actually started mobile with a van first.
Yeah, before we had the
Yeah.
location, we were a mobile crew, and we would go out and work on it. We were a mobile crew for like 2 months, and then found a spot to rent out, put a lift in, and rocked and rolled for a little while doing that. But he had faith in me, man. So we hopped in it, fucking 2 feet forward, fucking slammed out a bunch of car work, and got a phone call about this facility. Literally 4 days after you got approved for a caregiver license.
Yeah, we were like, man, let's just become a caregiver and apply for this and just grow some people's EPCs and do this easy route kind of thing, And
Got the lighter.
Yeah.
But fucking this spot fell in my lap. I told him, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go check this out. So I went and looked at it, called him. I was like, yo, this is the new spot, bro. Like, it don't get
what
no
are you
better.
talking
It
about,
don't get no
man?
better. I'm like, we can
sure.
cycle out. The license is here. It's waiting for us. And so we fucking made a phone call to some people that we know and pulled the fucking trigger, man.
So, car guy,
A huge car guy.
let's say, would you, out of these picks, are you leaning towards old school muscle car resto mod, supercar, or like a luxury pre-runner
Resto Mod, big ass wheels, black and gold.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
You already knew
None of those
that.
were bad answers. But fuck yeah.
We're from Houston, man.
I want the
I got some
turbocharged
swingers.
LS,
Shit.
old school on some
Oof.
fat fucking donks, boy.
Oh, that's raw as fuck.
Let me see.
Dude, I've been seeing those like carbon
Candy
fiber bodied
cane.
Camaros and shit.
Bro, I've had
like,
some wicked fucking vehicles in my life, and back in 2015, I had to fucking sell all my shit because I lost my license.
Yeah, he has some crazy whips.
I had a
Cadillac CTSV, the Vet.
a 71 C10 pickup that was converted.
Yeah, at least he did it right before he lost his license.
Yeah, so I knew my vision was getting shitty, so I fucking kind of balled out those last few years, man. I put myself in a little bit of debt, but you know, it was short lived.
Hey, it was worth it.
Yeah,
You got now those memories for the rest of your life.
that's my life, and that's been my whole life, man. I've always had, you know, somewhat of a nice vehicle, but towards the end, last 3 years, I really knew vision was going. I balled out, so it was dope.
damn, dude. We were talking, I think trying to go fishing last year or something, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, I can't, like my vision. And I was like, oh shit.
I mean, dude, I love going fishing. That's one of my favorite activities in the world.
Yeah.
But I can't drive.
Yeah.
anywhere. So,
Yeah.
yeah. If you go fishing, bro, let's go.
I mean,
you,
dude, shit.
you like the fly fishing, or do you
I'll
like?
drive you out there.
I go fishing.
Yeah.
I went to a fucking 12-day
I
long
used to
Wyoming
ride
trip.
on those.
Hell yeah.
Those used to be my.
I want to do a boat day sometime this
Poking
year.
out.
That's
Just
my life, bro.
rent a boat down in
Yeah.
Pueblo. Bring like some of the crew out. You
I'm
know.
down. Yeah, let's do
It
it.
was on like a new Cadillac.
We used to live on the lake up in Austin.
like a new Cadillac. I had it.
I lived on one lake and he lived on the other, and so we lived the lake life like every fucking weekend, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
That's so
So
dope.
that's one thing we fucking miss about Texas is being able to hop on a boat.
So
Man, we had
Rent a
jet
pontoon, and
skis,
that's
some
the
stuff
best
like
day
that.
you'll
We
have.
lived lake life. That was fun.
jet skis.
Yeah.
You ever seen Eastbound and Down?
Wakeboard.
The jet ski scene. He's like through the lake, dude.
That's a great fucking show.
Oh, I love that. But
Wakeboarding, jet skis, camping on the lake. I miss that.
it's dope.
I mean, they do that here too. I hadn't been out to Pueblo. You know, I hear people be having fun out in
Oh,
Pueblo.
yeah,
on
dude.
Pueblo
Yeah,
Lake.
I don't know. I went to where you can get in the water, and I'm like, bro, it's just nasty as fuck. No offense, but I come from Miami, and like,
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah.
you know, it's not.
Miami, you get attacked by a shark. Here, you might get like a brain-eating
True,
amoeba.
but then also too, we go to the west side on the Gulf, and before like that oil spill, I don't know how it is now. I haven't gone in a couple of years, but that water, you could be neck deep, and you can see your toes, and
Oh,
you
fuck
see the
no.
fish.
Not in Galveston.
Not in Galveston. On
That
the,
shit
on the,
dirty as fuck.
yeah, I mean, you can go to the south,
Shit
like
dark.
Padre, sometimes Corpus on a nice day.
Dude,
Might
you,
see some pretty water.
you know we should go if so like my truck's only like a bench seat, so I'd be bringing my chick. But if you got a buddy that can drive, let's set up a day when South Slope opens.
What is that?
So there's a spot on the backside of Pikes Peak, and it's got like the native cutthroat.
The red ones?
Yeah,
Bro,
But when
say
when
when.
it opens up, it's like fucking
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I can drive.
Yeah. Dude, these fish are,
You'll
I don't
catch
know if you've
something,
seen one.
dude.
They are
Like,
fucking beautiful. They are like
I've
a
caught
hard
like fucking
pink.
15 and 16 of them in a
Have
day.
you really?
Yeah, like in a couple hours.
That
It's
is
like what,
that is
catch
the
and
pretty
release?
that's the prettiest
Yeah,
trout,
catch and release.
hands down.
Yeah, no, they're beautiful,
Yeah.
dude.
I've always wondered where you get them because on post, you know, you can say what lake are you at. They never answer.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying, or what pond or whatever.
there might be some fishermen that are mad about me blowing up, but it's on the fucking internet. Bro.
Well, it's only for our subscribers, all 30 of them. So
Yeah,
shout out, you know.
That's fun.
special tips just for you. For
Yeah,
And we're in Canada, by the way.
yeah. the far north side of
Yeah,
Canada.
Colorado Springs, Canada.
20 minutes from Niagara Falls.
Polar bears outside.
Y'all ever get? Where do y'all throw y'all's trash at? Y'all's trimming everything.
Oh, on the
Black.
sidewalk. No, I'm
No.
joking.
Yeah, we just take it, give it to a bump. No,
must trim.
I had to get a metal lidded dumpster.
So do we, and they still get into
They
it daily.
they get
Bro.
rated daily.
And they come with masks, like if they're fucking
Like they're
Hey.
raiding,
007,
bro. I'll be
taking
looking on.
trash.
I'll be looking on the
Trash.
camera, and they look like they're hitting a heist.
Yeah.
There was a
Dude. crazy.
grower in
Every-
town
every
that
night.
I will not name, but I love this story. And if you know this is you, fuck yes. But he caught a guy digging through his trash.
So have we.
And locked him in the dumpster and
We've
called the
talked about
cops.
it. We've talked about it.
But the cops were like, that's technically kidnapping.
Yep.
And he got in trouble.
Damn.
I can't
mean, we
do
tell
that.
'em-
It's trash.
It's like, dude,
Man,
like,
we try and tell them the trash ain't the deal. It's them breaking the trash can where we got to pay for it.
Well,
Like,
Or just
every
leaving the
time.
shit every
Just
day.
pick
that's
your
actually
mess
a
up.
federal offense because it's a
That's another
locked
thing.
trash can.
Right,
It's a
so
fucking, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, well, what's the difference between citizen's arrest and like, you know,
Kidnapping.
it's like, you want me to like zip tie his hands, leave him on the fucking hot pavement, or you want me to just leave him in the dumpster? You know what I mean? Like, is there a difference?
At least it's shaded.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's a
Right,
daily
Right?
thing.
You
With
want me to
daily
give him a
shit.
fucking thing of water like my dog or something? You know, like, here's a bowl.
It's insane how well they can pick through shit, even though you
Yeah.
make it unusable and unrecognizable.
Yeah.
especially because our washed buds, you know, it looks like bud. I'm sure after a couple of days it dries out in the trash can, but they got to really dig through some shit. But
And there's nothing in it. You washed
Nothing.
everything out. That's plant material.
Dude, I heard you're not even allowed to,
you know,
like,
I tell them that they can
Put
just
stuff
don't break
on
our
it.
shit. The trash
Like,
ain't the big issue.
I've heard of people using bleach on all their shit, like mix it in bleach, and then
I mean,
I
you're
ain't trying to
supposed to
kill
make
I've heard of
somebody.
people saying like, "Oh, well, you can't do that now because, you know," and I'm just like, dude, so like, do we do this? Do we not do? Like, what do
They
we?
definitely tell you to make it unusable and unrecognizable,
gotta
and
mix it
bleach
with
makes it
dirt.
unusable.
Yeah,
I'm sure if the
For
NED
sure.
saw you doing that, they'd be like, okay, and give you a thumbs up.
And if they smoke the bleach,
That's on them.
God help them.
All right. they definitely want it to be an unusable product,
and there's
or at least as good as you
people
can.
on the internet that are like, well, just like you're not using it, let someone. I'm like, bro, like you don't understand. Like we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to operate these businesses like annually.
Dude, and if our
And-
trash is around, we have to.
You get fined or
Oh,
you get
yeah,
shut
dude.
down.
And-
100%.
Yeah, no,
And
we
with
got-
your tags
A
all
fine can
over.
put you out of business.
Exactly.
You know, so like this is a very serious matter. This isn't a matter of just like, oh, it's a bum in your trash. It's like this is a matter of like taking away my livelihood. If someone had a fucking gun to your head, threatening to take away your livelihood, what would you do? Because it feels pretty much the fucking same way with one of these
Even
guys
something
digging
just
through
as
your
small
shit.
as digging through trash and making
You
a
know?
mess and getting eyes on you, it feels like that.
Especially when
crazy.
we're all
Especially
so
us
afraid of
next to
that
the police
guillotine
station.
about to drop. You know, like
There's weed
seriously.
everywhere. Like, man, we
Seriously.
got to pick these leaves up out here. We're next to the police station.
Literally,
we're
you
gonna
can
have to
see it
broom
from the,
this,
from
you
the
know.
trash can.
Yeah.
Like the police can see our alleyway from their building. You know what I'm saying?
and they still
They
do
probably
it.
see them
And
right
they
in
still
our
do
dumpster.
it.
Oh.
These people are the ballsiest or the dumbest people.
I've yelled at them across the
combination.
street. There's a grow
I don't
across the
know.
street from like our grow, and
Yeah, there's more bums
You know?
over by us than you guys.
I've fucking yelled at him a couple times. Like, had one guy who's like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I got two big dogs right here. What you can do about that?" You know, like,
Yeah, it's not the principle of just taking the trash, man. It's just the
Yeah.
the consequences on us. Like, now we got to call the fucking dumpster people and tell them their shit's fucked up again.
Yeah,
They're cutting the locks or
Yeah.
breaking this and that. And
Bending the pole.
bending. Yeah, bro.
yeah,
And then you
costing
can't
you
even close
money.
right.
And then just like littering, leaving shit all over the
Everywhere.
place. You
Yeah.
get there in the morning, there's just shit all over the
It's
place.
a great
and
way
you're
to
just
start
like,
the day.
oh,
So
dude,
fucking fun.
right?
That's what we pull up to.
A way to set the day's rituals in motion.
Let's
You know
see
what I
what they
mean?
ripped
Like,
out.
Like, grab the
today.
fucking snow shovel. We got the fucking
Yeah.
We got to shovel it back up in there.
I've thought about hooking up a fucking
We need
diesel
to put-
battery.
Anything, bro. Shocking
Put a
wire.
dog zapper on
and
it.
shit.
Yeah, we just need a spotlight on it with a little noise like whoop when they get over
The
there.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a
that.
federal offense.
Or like you get one of those.
The cops are on their
It's
way.
like it's like a shotgun shell, but it just has powder in it.
Yeah.
And then you tie that to the inside of the
So
dumpster.
it fucking goes
Then you
off.
put it on the lid, and the second they try and lift the lid, it go bam.
That dude will have a heart. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be
You'd have to
loud.
film it.
No,
You'd have to.
You come and the guy had a heart attack.
And then you
dead
get in
right there
trouble.
in front of you.
and then we get in
Murdered him.
Can't be a
He had a heart attack.
Heart attack.
from you. You caused it.
This is first degree.
Someone driving down the street honked at him. Our cameras don't have audio.
Right? Yeah, no,
He
we don't
just
have audio on our
fell
cameras.
over. I don't
either.
know.
I don't know why he's falling over.
That's hilarious.
What's all that dust in there? I don't know.
Is that an explosion?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Oh man! And so while you were doing the rapping, what were you doing?
Man, I was running those stores.
We
We were doing so during that time, man. We had the CBD business, and then I was working 6 days a
okay.
week at the shop.
So you couldn't even go to his performances?
Oh no,
or-
I did. I
Oh,
promoted.
He's in the
put it
music videos.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I promoted him, and I was there, but it was. He pretty much scheduled shit around my work schedule at that point in time.
Yeah.
That was raw. He's like, you know what? I want you to be there. Okay, you're off this day. All right, I'm only available this day.
Yeah, for sure. That's how it was.
That's dope. So what are you lighting up now?
Same. It's the
I think it's an orange fizzle
Orange
and
Fizzle.
Christmas cross.
Orange fizzle.
Bro,
Dude,
we smoked so
I'm
many
so
different flavors.
psyched on this.
I love
Thank
it.
you, man. My chick loves this shit too. She's gonna be
Good.
like,
So does mine, dude. That's her favorite
Psyched.
smoke. She's like, I don't want anything except the orange. Which, hey,
We were happy. People
It's
liked
like a
it. Good
chill
reviews there.
high. Not too heavy,
It's a
too
good work
heavy.
high.
Right.
it's such a good smell. You know what this almost reminds me of is
Starburst.
Cheezel.
oh yeah, a little bit. I could see that, but with some orange
Just
in
a
it.
tiny bit, yeah. But
Cheezo, I haven't had that in fucking.
I miss a good cheese, man.
Bro, UK cheese. Oh my
UK
god,
blue.
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
some funky feet cheese smell. Oh my goodness.
I would dig it. Some Romulan.
Oh, shout out my boy. He's been looking for some.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too for a while now. But I want a tested one.
one that.
Yeah,
Well, people say they got Romulan, but
right.
then it's lemon tree or some shit.
Right.
I'll pass.
This is not what.
I have this like disease where every single time like I find a terp I like, I want to cross it with a strain that's just frosty as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a disease.
I'm like, I want this, but I want this. Like, I have to have this. But it's like, you've been growing for a while, and like, when we were growing up, like, everything I looked at was like progressively getting better and better.
Yeah,
But
still.
now that you're in it and you see it everywhere, like, you're like, oh, but like, there's these things that are like so fucking pretty.
So
you know what I
pretty.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I want this, and I have to have it with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
and
I feel
that's
like,
the fun part of breeding.
yeah.
Y'all
And
breed?
I'm a breeder. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Generation,
right,
you
that's
breed
right.
Genetics.
Man, one of my favorite ones we
Love
had to
that
end up
shit. That's
letting
like
go
my favorite thing to do.
was Camel Walk Kush from the Bank Genetics out and from Denver,
That
from
shit
Kind
was
Love.
So
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it was Camel was a spicy disco
Kind
cross.
Love, shout out. When I first came out here,
Same.
I haven't been there in a minute, but when I first came out here, they were
Killing
killing
it.
it.
Yeah.
They're killing it. They're
The
alien
arc,
rock candy.
yes.
Fucking kill.
Fucking their
Yeah, that arc is special.
cooler, something cooler, nectar cooler, something cooler
Huh.
that they had.
Is it Ecto Cool?
Ecto
Ecto
cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the arc
Ecto
was
cooler.
put him on the map. That was the only.
Bro, that was the one.
Yeah,
Dude, we
was the
bought
one.
plane
The
tickets just to
fucking
come
one.
smoke that weed, dude.
Anytime, like when
Yeah.
I first came out here, that was the spot. That one, Diego Pellicer, then became the Frost, was another one, and Wolfpack were like the three that I
Right.
would always be like, if you're
Mhm.
down here or you're
Yep.
here, if you're gonna shop rec and you want flavors,
That's
Yeah.
where you go.
hit up those spots. And then the Dab always had the fucking best like deals for like dabs and
Right.
shit like that too. So shout out the Dab. Those people are good too.
Yeah, the clinic fucking held it down. They had the Bank Genetics. I got that. What was it? It was a spicy disco crossed with
Fish Head OG.
fish head. It was their fish heads that they did,
That
And-
sounds fire.
bro. It was insane.
And it was probably what they're feminized that you hunted through their feminized that they had.
Yeah, it was insanely frosty and pretty. She caught HLVD or something. She just
From one day to the next, just started.
yeah.
They had her for
I didn't
like
know
10
what
years.
HLVD was at the time. This is
10
back in
years?
Texas. Yeah,
Oh,
we had it for a
shit.
while.
They
This is
brought her
a
here,
long
too.
time ago.
Yeah.
You're probably like,
I'm
oh,
talking
she's
like
stunned. She's
2012,
old.
2013 when Kind Love was like those years
But
just
he-
popping.
That is
But-
crazy because I came in 2014 is when I got introduced to Kind Love, and I was like, oh,
So maybe
shit.
2013,
He,
2014.
he brought me
We're-
some, and I grew it for 2 years here,
Mhm.
like 18, 19. So we had it for a long time.
Yeah, those are my spots. I like the clinic, Colorado, and Kind Love. Every
That's-
time I come in town,
The
hit those
clinic, I
two.
don't think I've.
And then
I've
local
had those.
products of Colorado. That was one of them too. LPC.
Okay, no, I haven't.
They were like in a little back alleyway.
It was like a little back alleyway.
Yeah, those sketchy.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I mean, I was
Nah, it was legit. It was just legit in an alleyway.
Yeah.
It was like the back door or some shit. You know?
This was back in the day, so it was 20. I was living in Texas. I came up here and I paid for an address and got my med card, and so I was living in Texas, but still flying out here, and I could go to the dispos.
That is fucking the way to do it.
Yeah,
Because the rec prices are just ridiculous, and then the tax on it too. So like,
Mhm.
I
and then
remember sometimes they only have in Kind Love certain seeds on the rec side
Yep.
only.
Right.
And
Chief it.
I fucking I would be discouraged to get something because it'd be like, oh yeah, $100, and then it'll be like 140 with tax. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, why don't you guys have this on the med side? They're like, nah, we're only selling it on this side.
That's how it was. You know, they can choose. Yeah, no, that was fun. That was good old days, man.
Yeah, so you were saying, like, you know, you had that strain, you think it maybe had hop or something. As a grower, how many runs do you think you had before you knew about hop, where you're like just pulling your hair out trying to figure out what's going wrong?
This hit this run?
Our plants would just, I thought certain strains or would just get weak, and she was just ready to die, you know.
And you talk to someone, they'd be like,
I guess
more CalMag.
You're old. More CalMag. You know,
for everything. Just give it a little bit more. Give it 1 more ml.
CalMag, yeah.
I see. What is that meme? And it's like the first place, and second place, and third place, and it's like nitrogen first place and potassium second place, and they're all humble, just standing there, and then third place CalMag, and he's like, "I'm the fucking man." You know, that shit makes me fucking laugh, bro.
But sometimes that'd be true. Sometimes it'd be true.
CalMag can help.
Yeah, it can, for sure.
I do that. It's just, it drove so many growers so crazy for so long.
Dude, the first time somebody talked to me about that, I was fucking mind blown. And I'm fucking texting him. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? You know, and then he was like, it's kind of like that thing with the potatoes back in the day, you know?
Dude.
Especially in cocoa growing, like buffering raw cocoa, definitely need a CalMag buffer that shit.
Yeah. The first dude that
there's
talked
some
to me
cocos that come buffered, but if it's not,
yeah.
Well, some of them come out like super salty because I mean they come from a salty environment, right? So,
super salty, super acidic, unbuffered. You got to set that shit right.
How long have you known about HLVD?
So I was gonna say the first time someone talked to me about it, he was like, it was during COVID, and he's like, have you heard about this? It's like weed COVID. And I'm like, wait, so it like just came out, and I'm like, oh great, so now we don't have to worry about all this other shit. We got to worry about this too, and you know, but like over time, like listening to, you know, like let's say like the Toomey episode on, you know, like We the Growers or like whoever else, and just like getting this information from all these different sources, eventually you kind of realize like, oh, this has been here.
Yeah.
They just now found it because like that's the funny thing about cannabis is like there's been research, but there's been so little research that there's not like a grand scope of exactly what's going on.
We are in the prime time of the change of science with it, man. We live in a fucking crazy time for cannabis.
So
100%.
HLVD comes out
so rapidly changing.
Yeah.
Every day.
Everyone's freaking out like, oh shit. Yeah. There's people cutting their whole fucking crop. There's like, you know what I mean? Like,
shit, dude, the first time we experienced it, we were like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And come to find out,
and you start seeing it on
we reached out to where we got them from, and he's like,
yeah,
man. He's like, I just got test results back, and those have it. We're like, fuck, dude, the whole
they got AIDS?
Yeah. Right, they caught it?
Well, and like, I don't know about you guys, but we'd be in veg.
Pretty much, bro.
And we'd see plants, and we'd be like, oh, how come like these, like this particular plant just has like small leaves and weird branching and stuff,
like a menorah,
and you're like what? Like like they like literally just
goes to the
side,
like,
the side.
It looks like a
they like stay like they're like flat.
You look at it too hard and it just goes
right.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Now knowing what we now like know
it,
now,
it
it's so easy to see it.
I know.
Oh, we could spot it. Now, no.
You're like, that's what that was.
I see people post their grow. I'm like, oh, should I tell them they fucking have it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they know. I don't know.
Yeah, we've had some reach out and they're like, hey, my stuff's like not growing and kind of dudding and this and that. What is it? And we're like, oh man.
I hate to tell you.
I hate to tell you. I know what you got.
Yeah, I saw it. Like I saw plants with it, and I was like, I would just throw them out, not knowing. And then I had a biscotti cut that it was so fire. Even the little small buds that it would produce, it was like the best buds. But it was like I would look at it and it would break in half. It was always super weak. And I'm like, oh, what is this? And I'll have it on the same tray with everything else, and everything else started getting. I'm like,
slowly spread.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on right now?
Did y'all know that bugs can spread it?
Yeah, they fucking eating it, metabolizing it, and then go bite the roots.
It's like AIDS in the sense where like it has to be like blood to blood, like plant blood, right?
Yeah,
so like if that bug eats this plant and then jumps to the plant next to it and eats that one too, it can transfer. But also, you know, people are like, I mean, there's this great debate over like gloves versus just wash your fucking hands and scissors. And I mean, like gloves in their own right are not antimicrobial. If you touch one thing and touch the next, it makes no difference whether you had a glove on or just wash your hands. So unless you're changing your gloves every time or literally like bleaching them for 30 to 40 seconds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we keep a water bottle full of 10% bleach, and we're consistently
spraying
in the bedroom and the mom room. It stays there. Everything gets touched with 10% bleach.
Each strain has its own scissors that soak in 10% bleach. We fucking bleach our hands with the gloves on in between each fucking strand.
You mitigate it as much as you have the power to, you know.
Boy, once we learned about it, we got a new SOP for it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, even that strain, that mother plant, like it could be on this part down here.
That's where it starts the roots and slowly goes up.
100%. And then too, like if you like we're talking about with the bugs, if you got, you know, root aphids or stuff, just biting, eating, fucking procreating, jumping from one root zone to the next root zone, or you got ants coming in and they're living on top of the ants, the larvas, and you're fucked.
It's more common too, like in your lowers that don't get as much light and grow as much, and like you said, the root zone. But like when you get into that new growth, like those are the only cuts you should really be taking. Like there's people that are like, I need 50 cuts, so they take a whole bunch of them. Half of them turn out like shit. You know why? Because a lot of those hormones and things in those spots, the plant that like is getting what it needs to really grow, they're not there. And it's you know, like that's why when they're doing tissue culture, right? Like they take the meristem. It's like the most brand new part of the growth.
It has nothing. It's like a fresh embryo.
That's like one of the main ways to beat HLVD if you're trying to keep a strain.
Yeah.
You know?
But I was talking to a buddy the other day and I was like, dude, like what if we did this? Like think about like, you know when you flip your plants and they grow like super quick?
Yeah.
Like if you're worried about a strain and you want to bring it back, let's see if you can take a strain that was dudded out, flip it, get that super quick growth, take a small cut just off the very top after it stretches like a fucking wild man.
Theory is you
put
can
that back.
We know someone who did that.
Yeah, theory is you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can.
And tested clean.
Yeah.
But you probably got to do it multiple times, or they did it.
Yeah, no, he
one
did.
time?
He did it multiple times. He did it twice, I believe.
I think so, yeah. And I'm talking the very tip, he got the root. Like he cut
the tip.
like an inch and a half
And
or two of the smallest clone.
He sent it to me.
But
he sent it to me.
He flipped it like that so he could get that quick.
I'm pretty
like,
sure.
Dude,
I'm not sure about the flip, but I know he got
new
quick growth, cut the growth.
If you like think about like you've got strains, they all stretch, right? You have a couple that stretch super quick.
Dude,
but like
honey banana will start like this on flower and
become an octopus.
Yes.
But you think about that.
You need like 6 trellises.
Yes.
Versus the amount of time and veg it would take
or
in
melted
a
strawberry.
very like
weak
growth.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So
I mean, I've honestly had to take. I killed a tray of clones in the past, not anytime recent, but I had to take clones off of plants that were flowering like a week and a half in or whatever. And it definitely took longer for them to boom and veg, but it's doable.
Yeah, they root fine. They're just harder to revert back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the switch of the hormonal,
right?
You know.
Well, the feed's different too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hormones.
Interesting. You know, you were talking earlier about the whole like generative versus vegetative growth of the crops and everything, and like that's very hormone driven too, from what I understand.
Yep, it is.
Cause a hormonal response from the environment and then produce certain.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah, it's
in that Athena book. Get you one.
Yeah. And shout out again for the 4th time.
Yeah, we call it the Bible.
Yeah,
it's our Bible.
Shit. Well, I started with the Grow Bible. You guys,
yeah,
George Cervantes.
Bro, we still have it on our desk.
I have it. And he has another book too.
He's had it since.
He has the purple book,
9th grade.
and the Grow Bible one, and then there's one about microbial and fungi.
I don't have that one. I got
Me
just
neither.
the original.
I have the other 2.
Yeah, that's cool. So he's still writing books.
Yeah, I don't know how. No, I got these like when I first started fucking like.
Yeah, we were
really
kids.
going in like in maybe 2013.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. I thought you said he had a new one out.
No. Maybe newer than the Grow Bible one.
Yeah.
It's like a purple one.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That shit helped me a lot learning how to fucking grow, just fucking flipping through there and be like, oh, what's this?
Well, I mean, something would go wrong, and then you'd like grab it and like,
Yeah.
you're like, is it this?
We do that. We do that with the handbook. So we're like, fuck, go to the handbook real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Go back to RSOPs, kind of cross it with the Athena book,
And then it's the process of elimination of like, okay,
You got to make the steps to figure out what the fuck's wrong.
One more reason why fifth shout out Athena or something like it. So easy because you know, like when you're running these like 12-part systems or whatever the fuck, you know, and you're like a little bit of this, like you're like, okay, so I'm trying to chase down a problem. Is it too much of this, too little of that? You know, when you have a very simple, you know, feed system or whatever, like you can almost take that out of the equation and chase down the real problem.
For sure.
Yeah, it's like a diet, right? When you find out you're allergic or something is causing discomfort from eating, and now you have to do process of elimination. Is it the bread? Is it the weed?
Is it the rice? Is it the cheese?
And if you have a crazy diet, it's going to be harder to eliminate one by one to figure it out. But
that's a
it's
good way to say it. Yeah,
that's like one or two things. It's like could be this, could be that.
It makes sense.
There's that saying, dude. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I say. The KISS method.
He says it weekly.
KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Right?
We were noticing change. We're like, bro, we got to go back to the basics. Like,
ain't none of us NASA.
Shit.
Yeah.
Go back to what
we're
you
dialing
know.
it in, but I mean, shit, dude. You know,
it's always dude, that's what growing is.
Yeah.
That's what makes it
learning,
fun. It's a fucking game. You know how
How are you gonna level up? How are you gonna get better than last week? Like,
right.
What are we gonna do to top that? Oh, that fizz was fucking phenomenal. What are we gonna do next?
Right.
triumphs.
Like,
and
man,
tributes.
that one
we don't
table,
ever settle.
that one table and strain could have used 2 more plants to fill the canopy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Small things.
just adjustments, man. Continue to make.
It's
them,
like
never stop.
what do they call it? The guy doing the sculpture, like you chisel away at the marble a little bit every day,
A little bit every day.
and then you're gonna get that masterpiece. You know?
It might take a couple years.
It's not the
might take
fastest.
10
It's who
years.
does
We'll
it
see.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, and just like finding all those extra little tiny margins or how you could do this a little bit more efficient or that or the other things. At the end of the day, it makes the more you know about how to dial in what you're doing, the easier it makes your life and your goals. And
And we still have a long ways down that road with this new system and everything.
Yeah.
But,
every facility, you know, it's always like its own
for sure.
set of things.
Yeah. Its own way.
Yep.
I love the proxy.
Shout out my dog T-Dog. And then shout out his girl. She gave me this little attachment. I feel so bougie. I'm like, I didn't have to pay $100 for a fucking pen. It should just.
That's dope.
Yeah, they come in clutch.
That shit is raw as fuck.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not as cool as that one. Can you get those, but with like water?
Yeah.
And
I just prefer dry hits.
It's crazy because like I hear both sides. Like some people that like dry hits, and the other people are like I fucking hate dry hits.
So I used to be one of those people that didn't like them, but then I learned dab lower.
Yeah, I was gonna say you run them lower temperature.
Lower.
Yeah, dab them lower. You know, get the good terps because terpenes are water soluble, dude. You put them through a bong, you are losing flavor, whether you want to believe that or not.
For real, I love smoking out of my bong.
No, me too. I do it every day. But I'm just saying, it definitely strips some of the terps, in my opinion, when you run them through water. So if you do a lower temp dab in a dry pipe, I feel like you get really good fucking flavor.
Well, also low temp. You know, like so many terpenes and essential oils and things. They are so like volatile.
Very
low
volatile.
temperature.
They're volatile. Just at room temp, some of them.
100%.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to get.
That's why you don't want old weed.
Because
You
they're
know?
so volatile.
That's why fresh frozen's awesome because you can, get
sure.
it and put it in a fridge and
trap
keep
it.
it nice and fresh. And that's why like
still kinda new
bud
with
that's
these things,
not
guys.
too old but dried right's good.
Is white too hot or
It's the hot. That's the hottest setting, right?
is that too much? What
I
else?
would do green.
How do you do that? You know, do that?
Click it once. Yeah. Did you already double click her?
Yeah, because
She's already on.
just change it. You can't change it. Double click it again
Click it.
or turn it off.
So hold up.
Yep.
Did it go? Yeah, there you go. I got it. It's in rainbow mode now.
Oh, rainbow mode.
Rainbow mode.
So-
you guys want to hit this?
so
That's the sesh mode, man.
It's sesh mode. So when it's on white, hit it 5 times and it'll get you into sesh mode. So now it'll give it time to pass around. It goes for longer.
Yeah, it goes for like a minute and a half or so.
I'm good, dude. Dabs fuck me up.
That's the whole
I'll
point.
smoke joints all day long, dude. Like I smoke a dab, I'm dead.
I feel like Gandalf the Great.
I know, it's all dapper style.
That shit's raw.
That tastes good. What's that?
I think it's the GMO
Oh,
something.
Grape. Yeah, from Resin Farming.
Yeah, he looks like he's putting out real good work, man. We went and met with
That's my dog.
we went and met with Tyler, I want to say the name is of where he's over at. Checked out his facility.
Oh, Big Medicine.
Big
Yeah,
medicine.
yeah.
Real cool people, man. Real
I
nice.
heard the facility's like super nice.
It's
clean.
very clean.
Yeah, he wants
yeah.
to do some good things with some rosin guys.
He does. He's trying to get. He's
Like
trying to
we
get a
could
nice
do it.
little
Probably could do
dispo
again.
together for rosin, like special. You know what I'm saying? Like locals. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Zach seems to be killing it over there, man. His fucking product looks hella good.
No, he is, man. He was working here before, and I was like, like I knew he was kind of getting to a point where he's like, dude, you guys aren't really doing enough of the kind of product that I really want to do, and I could tell he was, So like when I found out he was like, oh yeah, I found another job or whatever,
Right.
and I heard they were gonna help him build a lab and do that kind of shit. I was like, that's fucking
Yeah, he's got a
good,
nice
Yeah,
setup.
He's good at what he does. So
yeah,
like,
we got to see it.
cool
It's
he's
top
doing it,
notch, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, very, very
Nice and clean.
It is.
And it's great to hear that like people in the community are like, hey, come check out my facility to see what I got going on,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And they want to collaborate.
Yeah, I love it. Transparency, teamwork.
I actually ran into Tyler the other day.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
We just met him for the first time not too long ago, but from what I can tell, his business motto is pretty good. So he grows real clean like we do.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's been building that up for a while, so hopefully that takes off for him here soon. I hear he's, like you were saying, expanding the dispo a little bit and stuff, and
Yep, wanting to get some rosin in there.
mhm.
That'll be fun. Seems like he's trying to do something good.
What happened to? Anyone know what happened to Cold Cure?
Cold
Mm-hmm.
cure.
Cold Care, Colorado.
Are they still?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen them.
Does Buku carry them a lot?
I feel like they
They
did.
did.
I feel like they were here and then
Did
they
they?
were gone.
I haven't heard.
I haven't seen any
I
new
don't know what happened
drops.
with that.
Sunshine be having some shit too. Have you tried Sunshine?
Yeah, I actually have.
Yeah, it's a good price point.
It is.
I wouldn't say it's all the best stuff. Some stuff is not the best. It's good.
I mean,
Great
you gotta,
price point,
You gotta
you know?
have. Yeah, you gotta have levels.
Yeah.
Definitely smell good.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's like 20 a G.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
I still kind of feel like if you're not growing the shit you're washing, like
Heads or tails.
some of these bigger companies, I feel like there's something extra special about it all being done under, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's some guy. Are you talking about like just like a straight hash maker that doesn't grow?
Yeah, like we got like all these big companies out here, right? Like mostly probably Denver based.
Right.
I can't think of really anyone down here, but where you'd have, and I feel bad for the guy washing because he maybe has to work within that company's parameters of like what they can afford as far as this or that kind of product. So I'm not saying it ever comes down to the actual particular hash maker. But I think like you can't really control that entire quality as a company unless you personally do all of it.
For sure. Yeah. It gets kind of sketch too, especially when people have expectations and you're doing collaborations.
Yeah.
I mean, strains that you're not sure what they do.
Oh,
like-
for sure. This is a washer, and then it's a 1.2, and they're like, you're stealing
You
from
don't-
me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you don't know what you're doing. Or
Right.
something.
Okay.
That's kind of like my thing, like with the MIP is like if you want to wash some shit, like we work with Fremont's Finest, and it's like he presses all of his own stuff. So he's like an employee, right?
Right.
But he's pressing his own stuff, and that way there's no like conflict of anything. It's just like
Right.
this is your stuff, you brought it in, and
That
it
seems
is,
to be the standard. I
you
think as far as like that kind of a situation goes, I think that the people that we've talked to in the past, we would be there pressing in their mid.
Yeah.
Pretty much just renting the spot.
But like a lot of these like BHO deals and stuff, like you'd send them a bunch of trim, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, it only, but then like it's in metric, and you're like, wait a second,
Right.
where's the rest of this?
Right.
You know? So, yeah, it's weird, man. I've seen a lot of weird stuff in this industry.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of shady people too.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
Transparency
You gotta
is
be careful,
key.
dude. Like
Oh,
I've always
100%.
tried trusting people first. But I
Yeah,
mean,
give them benefit of the doubt.
you do have
That's
to be
usually how we
careful.
run too, but we
You know,
gotta
that's one thing.
be
I've-
careful.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm so
Fucking
fucking
high.
the last dime got me good as
Yeah,
fuck.
Good thing that water was empty. You just knocked it over.
Shit.
That's a big ass joint.
Yeah, you want? Do we relight it? Do we call it? What are you guys feeling? How you guys feeling?
Shit, we can call it.
Yeah.
I'm down for whatever, brother.
Yeah.
Shit. You drop a freestyle?
No,
Nah,
I'm not a freestyle
whatever,
artist.
Not whatever. But.
Not after smoking
Yeah.
this much. Hell yeah, dude. Well, fuck. I appreciate you guys coming out. This has been a fun
Right.
conversation.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We appreciate
Pleasure.
the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, really.
You
yeah,
know,
it's been a fun time.
hopefully
Good talk.
keep this thing going long enough. We can bring you back again at some point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for
Fun.
sure. And then I can't wait to hear the new stuff that you guys are gonna have going on and
Yeah.
Yes,
all
sir.
the big shit going on
It's
and
up
shit.
from here, man. You know, it's been a long road, and we're ready.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
And I see the
Motivated and ready.
improvements. I see the improvements every time
Thank
you
you,
guys are
brother.
post. I'm like, bro, these guys are getting better and better and better and better.
Trying to.
So
Thank you, man.
Yeah, dude. You know, like I said, I've been hearing about you guys since I got out here. You know, I imagine you're probably just kind of getting your bearings with
Oh,
your
yeah.
project you have going on now. But like you said, small community. You know, kind of met some of your friends through some stores and things like
such
that.
a small community.
It's cool to
small
actually
world.
be sitting down with you 2 years later having this conversation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
stoked to do it.
Yeah, same man. Good combos, good people, good energy.
Right on.
Oh, yeah. Be on the lookout. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff.
Where can we find you guys on Instagram?
And Children of the Crops LLC, and then Crops Crew.
Crops Crew. Cool. Right on. Well, this has been another excellent episode of Nug Talk. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later.
Later.